And we are live and ready to go. We're getting ready here, counting down the last few minutes till we start the our third fantasy football draft. Of course, this one we're going to be doing through Sleeper, Sleeper, the fantasy football app. It's sponsored by Kurt. Forgot his name, the Green Bay 49er quarterback, and a bunch of other guys. Seems like a really cool app. We're already here in the draft room, getting ready. This is gonna be and Spongy's already watching me to steal all my picks. You kind of already saw my last draft a little bit. Yeah, Kirk Bankert. Thank you very much for that fix, Spongy. But like I said, I'm going to just give the draft here, give everybody about another minute maybe. My clock does say 9 o'clock, so should be time to start. But I'm going to – oh, it auto – and we got Kyle on the clock. And I believe that's NFL with Kyle Kitvitz. I'm probably saying that name wrong, and I apologize, Kyle. Denver fan. Let's see where he's going number one here. I feel like this is definitely got to be wide receiver coming off the board, right? Like, is it Christian McCaffrey maybe? I mean, that's a lot of number one picks. I mean, who would y'all take? Oh, let me get into these comments. Welcome in, Oak. Welcome in, Niner. Welcome in, Daniel. How y'all doing tonight? We got two of you. At least, Oak, are you in this one as well? I sent you the invite on Twitter. I don't know if you got in. But we've got at least 3 people in this chat here in this draft with us. Kyle taking it down to max time. I hope he's in here. Let's see. If it's the overall board, would it give him Josh Allen number 1? Hopefully not. If it does, it'd be like that, you know. We'll work with him. Hopefully, if anything goes on with his team, I'd rather him be competitive. Oh, it auto started. It's 9 o'clock. I hope they'll get on. I don't even know how it. I mean, I see Sydney on, Cahill's on for Niner, Cat and me. I saw Divine or Chimera pop in, I think, there for a minute. You know, no matter what, it'll be a good year. I ain't worried about it.
Oh, come on, dude.
And it takes Patrick Mahomes number 1 overall. Maybe he set up his board. Christian McCaffrey going off the board second. AD, the Packs fan. We got 2 Packer fan, it looks like, in here. I mean, can you really be mad with Patrick Mahomes? I mean, he is going to put up points. And, you know, a lot of people is Christian McCaffrey's first pick. So can't go really wrong there. I know some people are a little worried about an injury bug, but I think McCaffrey's done pretty well to avoid that. And if you're sipping on an adult beverage, cheers. I'm sipping on a little bit of a Crown and Coke here tonight as we go through our third fantasy football draft. Of course, this is a 14-man league, again, through Sleeper. We actually have even individual defensive player picks in this league. It's going to be a fun draft, that's for sure. I'm really excited. My biggest problem right now is I want to have some diversity in my team. If you didn't come back, what was it, on Thursday, I believe, when we did our last fantasy football draft? Man, your boy drafted like the all 25 and under team. My team is so young, and I have such a bias towards younger players. But at least we're able to see it and hopefully make rational decisions regarding it. Captain says he wasn't making it to you. I know you. CMC was definitely I hope AD the Pac fan gets in here, but if not, no worries. I should have made something. I think as the commissioner, it seems like I could force the pick, but I don't want to do that just in case he does come in. Maybe if we get in later in the draft and people aren't there, as long as it does follow their board, if they have set one, I'm cool with that. Cahill on the clock as Justin Jefferson goes off the board, number 3, 1.3. CeeDee Lamb after he just got paid. That's a solid pick, Cahill. You can't be mad with that, especially after the contract's been set. They said he's come to camp looking jacked. And that gives 49er media on the clock here. He might be setting his board. And CJ Stroud comes off the clock. We got 2 quarterbacks to start this. Cap McNiner on the clock. Tyreek Hill, I'm on the clock. I mean, this has got to be Amon St. Brown, right? Like, got to be. Easy money. I didn't give him respect last year, and he made me eat it. So we will give him a little respect this year. Take him with our first overall at 1.7. Oh, Kyle's asking in the other chat how to get in. Hold on. There is another link. I think it'll let me send from the draft room. Draft room. I mean, that's the link I'm in. Let me go back. Oh, let me see. Is there? I don't know how everyone else got in, and I'm trying to figure out how to get Kyle in. Oh, it says Kyle's in. Are you in here, Kyle? Lambo legend. That's my boy Andy. Let me see. I'm check my messages. Make sure he hasn't messaged me. Oh my god, my phone got blown up by all these messages. I'm trying to see if there's like another way for me to
come on
share like the I'm trying. I'm so sorry if anyone's having issues. Says Joe's on the clock. Shows Joe's in. How'd your draft go yesterday, Steve-O, by the way? Bijan Robinson coming off the board after Josh Allen. And I feel bad for Kyle. I feel bad for Andy. I'm trying to don't draft. Let me see if there's anything else I can do from here. I don't see any other links, ways to send it. Cam says, I feel nothing. They knew the stakes. And I swear I saw Chimera in here. Hmm. I just don't know how to. And it's like I believe I can technically pause the draft as well, but that would also kind of be a thing to everyone else. I don't know any other way how to get him in. Oh, you had the very first overall pick. That can be kind of rough. Well,
Come on.
I like how it plays sound effects too. Oh. And Marvin Harrison going, oh, Spongy made it in. Now we got picks. Oh, someone took Lamar off the board. Quickly to Goat Rick. Darian Dog coming up next. I don't want to talk about it, guys. Oh, CMC, Etienne, Harris, Ford. Okay, okay. How big was the team? And like I said, ignore my horrible spelling, guys. I apologize. But we've got the 7th pick in, and we took him on St. Brown at 1.7. I got good feelings about it. Oh, there's actually a setting where I can make it in this draft that we can only like right here. There's actually a filter I can filter by rookies only if I really wanted to. And there was a small part of me that was like, just draft an all rookie team, Levi. Just draft an all rookie team. I'm still halfway tempted to do it. I don't know about y'all. Okay, okay. You got some solid. You got a high upside team. And Travis Kelce, that's actually a solid pick as Tiggs now on the board. You know, you can't be mad at, especially we gave an extra point to tight end receptions in the league. So tight ends do have a little higher value. You know, I've never been against taking tight ends higher, especially back in the old days when I felt like there was only like really 3 elite tight ends in the league per year. Tight end was always high on my list. And if I was picking late in that first round, start the tight end slide. But okay, took Butker and yeah, dude. I want the Ravens defense, but I know Spongy or somebody else gonna steal them. So I ain't even worried. I got backup plans. Yeah, I think sleeper is nice, honestly. I don't really. Yeah, I wish I knew how to like. That sounds great so far. I mean, it's a 14-man league. It's a 14-man league. Like, it's going to get a little rough here and there. Oh, Joe Burrow coming off the board, and then he has back-to-back picks, but I think it's already like. And then, yeah, I can speed it up quicker. Oh my God, we got Mark Andrews, Jamar Chase coming off the board. To Goat Rick. Wasn't he here earlier? Yeah, there he is. He's back. He's back. Kyle, I feel for you. I feel for you, bro. I really was. I'm so sorry. That was not anything on us, I swear. Dakota Rick, it says he's here, so I'm gonna let him pick. Sam Laporta coming off the board. Ooh, Spongy on the clock. Took Marvin Harrison, Puka Nakua, AJ Brown. Whoo, we got players flying off the board right now. Joe on the clock. Took Bijan Robinson, I think huge upside. Jamar Gibbs, ooh, I'm on the clock. I believe in my boy Garrett. We taking Garrett Wilson. I've got him on every single fantasy team. If anything happens to Aaron Rodgers or him, I'm screwed. But the kid had put up numbers with no quarterback play. Him, DJ Moore, and Puka Nakua carried my fantasy team last year. Shout out to the waiver wire for Nakua on that one. Picked him up and never looked back. Until I forgot that I was in the playoffs and I forgot to set my lineup because I'm a horrible GM. But Captain Niner taking Breece Hall right after. Ooh, we got picks coming off the board quickly now. Saquon Barkley. We got running backs coming in a wave. And I love watching this wave of like wide receivers, and running backs in the first like probably 3 rounds. And then of course, 4th round, man. I'm sorry to those that got auto picked, that got a quarterback early, that couldn't get into the draft room. I'm sorry. My boy Saquon. Cahill, the Seahawks fan, he took CeeDee Lamb 1. Who's he looking at here? This is going to be an interesting one. Oh, Travis Etienne. That's a solid pick. Josh Jacobs, solid. Sidney Miller now on the clock. Took Christian McCaffrey earlier. Neighbors, solid. Really dependent on that New York quarterback play, but the kid's got such talent. Like Kyron Williams. Ooh, that's going to make the Blake Corum pick so much more important later in this draft, potentially. Kyron, though, absolute monster. When Kyron, Cup, and I think Nakua are on the field, the Rams averaged more than 6.1 yards per play last year. Basically meaning every 2 plays, as long as those 3 players were on the field, they had a first down. So if they can, replicate that, and Blake Corum, we'll see if he can do what. If anyone has anyone watched? Oh, I gotta ask in chat. Hold on. Anyone watched the Michigan sign docu on Netflix? Did anyone else watch it yet? The Michigan sign stealing scandal on there's a document on or a docu whatever on Netflix that you can watch. I went to sleep last night watching it with even the girlfriend was just sitting there like watching with me like, huh. I'm like, yeah, man, it'd be like that. Everybody want a Connor. Everybody want a Connor. They just mad they didn't have one. Anthony Richardson coming off at 3.3. Whoo! I mean, though, I do like him. And the thing is, one thing I liked about him is when he missed where he was supposed to. He didn't put the ball where it's going to get intercepted. It's where his guy's going to get it or nobody. And that, man, I used to pound that into quarterback that I was like coaching up a little bit when I was younger. And I would just sit there with this dude and run routes for hours, and he would just toss me the ball for hours. I miss it so much, to be honest with you. No, you should not drop Odunze for Thielen, Steve-O. And what up, John Jay? We just getting started, my boy. We just getting started. It's a 14-man league. It's rough. And most everyone's here now. Hold on. Wait. When's new Call of Duty coming out? When's that new Call of Duty coming out, guys? Kyler Murray. Better make sure he's actually studying some film. But Chris Olave, Brandon Ayuk, captain's on the clock. I'm coming up next. We took 2 wide receivers here. Man. I think Lamar's gone, isn't he? No, Captain, you suck. I feel like you were big. I didn't want to say it. Oh, you suck. I wanted that so bad. I wanted that so bad. Oh my God, I'm in trouble. Oh, I'm in trouble. We're taking Kyle Pitts here. You know, and Michael Penix, man, if anything happens, you just got to like find the team, whoever has. If whatever team has Kirk Cousins in your fantasy league has him as the our QB1, that's the one person you should stare at their roster all year, because if anything happens to Kirk, you get Michael coming in. So all the players around Kirk don't lose value at that position. The running back, wide receiver, and tight end positions are valued higher because the quarterback play behind it. But like again, so if you find the team, if you at any point in your draft, you find that Kirk is their QB1, you should take Penix purely as a backup at the trade waiver. Because again, if anything happens to their QB1 and Penix comes in and plays like he did in college, just saying, might be a great trade target. But I don't know, when you really do that. Oh, I wanted Derrick Henry so bad, guys. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I thought he had the highest value of that pick right there by far. Cap Niner got Tyreek, Brees, and Derrick, so he's strong on the running back. We got to analyze these rosters a little more. Cahill, okay. The advantage is I feel like I've got good tight end play. I feel like there's maybe 2 other tight ends left. So tight ends should be high on a lot of people's draft boards if they don't have one already. Darion, double tight end. With the extra value on tight ends, playing one off as your long-term flex, not a bad draft strategy, actually. But only if you weren't able to get the wide receivers you really wanted. Which, point value wise, I actually commend it. Let's see where he goes. Dairy Dog goes here. I don't know if he's on or not. Captain. I knew I shouldn't. I knew I shouldn't have said nothing, but it'd be like that. It'll make for a better draft, right, guys? Right? If I get enough viewers, I'll just let chat start choosing my picks. I think that'd be pretty funny. Streamlabs poll. Who do I take with the next pick? A kicker? Back-to-back kickers? 3 kickers? You guys are killing me. DK Metcalf coming off the board to Rick. Darion Dog, though, still hasn't made a pick.
Come on.
Ah! Oh my god! Mother of God. Oh my God. So far, I have Amon St. Brown, Garrett Wilson, and Kyle Pitts. Oh my God. Oh my God. We have three. Oh. Oh my God. I'm dying right now from this. This is hilarious. All right, I'm going to auto this. Oh my God. Oh my God. All right, Dart, Tig's here. I'm excited now. We're back. We're Nico, Colin King. All right, we're picking it back up now. We're picking it back up. All right, we're on the clock here. Let's see. We still need some running back help. We're going to take Aaron Jones up there in Minnesota. Solid pick. Going a little bit older on the pick than we normally go, but he's going to get a lot of carries. He's solid. I might have to take some shots at running back here soon. '49ers media took Brandon Ayuk at 3.5. He's got CJ Stroud and Saquon Barkley already. Pretty solid so far. Steve-O said, I wanted Brown. You're not going to have any starting RBs in a 14. I know, Steve-O. But hear me out, man. Hear me out. There's a couple strategies here to go with at the running back position. I think there are actually going to be several position battles where I'm betting on the underdogs. There's about 3 to 4 teams I'm staring at when I reference that a little bit. So I'm excited to see how it goes. There are IR spots. I'm really high on Jonathan Brooks, and I'm starting to think about taking him, honestly. But I know Captain's going to take him now, probably. But he does already have Breece Hall and Derrick Henry. He definitely needs to get a wide receiver. Wide receiver depth starting to disappear a little bit here. Oh, picks are coming in quick. We got DeAndre Swift, James Cook, Stephon Diggs, Devonta Smith, and Kyle coming back with back-to-back picks. Debo Samuel and Zay Flowers. Oh, stacking up. Whoo, that's some solid picks. That's some solid picks. Kamara coming off the board. AD, the Pax fan here. He needs some running back, maybe a tight end here. Wouldn't be a bad pick. I don't know what's left here on the board. Oof, 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 oof. And I like that. Joe Mixon coming off the board from Houston. Cahill, the Seahawks fan, coming up here with 5.4. Got Lamb, Etienne, Olave, and Cook. He, again, also maybe looking for a little bit of tight end. Picking up tight ends early, not actually the worst thing. Because, again, this league, there is a +1 reception point bonus to tight ends. And, of course, you have not only your position, but it's flex. And, you know, I'm banking on a couple guys here. Honestly, picking 7's hard because no matter what, you're always having to wait. I'd rather pick at the very beginning, like top 3 or bottom 3, kind of, to be 100% honest with you. No worries, my boy Tig. No worries. And that was rough. Brock Bowers coming off the board. Cahill, that's a solid pick. There's like, 2, 3 maybe. George Pickens coming off the board here. Do I take Jonathan Brooks here? And I'm taking a huge swing on Jonathan Brooks again in this draft. Again, I think he's going to be, what's the one I'm looking for the most? They've had so many good running backs down in Carolina. And I think he's just going to fit in real nicely in there when he gets back around week 4. I'm going to start taking some real swings. Man, we're really getting going here now. Ferguson, Adunze, Herbert. Someone took Mike. That's crazy. The big board said he was worth that much probably at 5.8. TJ Watt just came off the board. Dadari. Oh, do they know something I don't know? Do they know something I don't know? And Tig, of course, here now, so it's fine. Like, oh my God, though, TJ Watt. He was here for a second, guys. He was here for a second. Man. He's big brain, guys. He's big braining us. That's crazy. Oh, he's there. He's there. See if we can find some. Nothing good. T. Higgins taking a wide receiver. The GOAT Rick. Sam Laporta, DK Metcalf, Nico Collins, David Montgomery. But I was explaining we got Chimera. I totally didn't forget about this draft until 5 minutes ago. No worries, my boy. No worries. AJ Brown, Drake London, Rashad White, Jake. Not bad. Not bad, honestly. It's really not that bad. But yeah, if you don't make the playoffs in this 14-man league, the lower 8, whatever, 6 will advance to the shit bowl, where the loser continues to advance to become the shit king. Ooh, we got another defensive player, Max Crosby, coming off the board. Jaden Daniels coming off the board to Spongy. Chimera now on the clock. He's got 2 wide receivers, a running back, and a tight end. He's got a lot of solid depth. Like, a lot of solid depth. Chimera, you're not fucked, my guy. You're not fucked. There's bonus points to tight ends, and again, individual defensive players seem to be like actually not too terrible. Najee Harris, if he can hold that starting job and recapture his, I'm just so scared of the Pittsburgh running back situation just because of Jalen Warren's a better running back. but Jaylen Warren can't stay healthy either. And that's the problem down there in Pittsburgh. Let's take a look here. Ooh, I'm taking a bet on Trey Benson. I think Trey beats out Connor after an injury and never looks back, honestly. But that's my personal opinion. You know, I can't leak my picks, man. I gotta be careful. I got stream snipers in the draft. You know, Spongey's listening in, Captain's listening in, Chimera's in here. We got stream snipers. What's Chubb's ETA? And see, what's funny about that, Steve-O? That's a great question, actually, by the way. So Steve-O brings up Nick Chubb's. Nick Chubb's is actually in my 6-man league. Chimera, if you don't know this, in your 6-man league, you have 2 IR spots. I took not only Nick Chubb, but Jonathan Brooks in that league. I've already moved them both to IR and made free agent acquisitions because it's a 6-man league and it's super deep. So, and of course, I've kind of planned my draft a little around that. If I'm not mistaken, Pub and Jonathan Brooks on the PUP list, not IR, which means I believe they are out for, I believe, the first 4 games of the league. After that, they will enter a window, I believe, where they're designated back to practice, or they have to be moved to, I think, IR with designation to return. And around then, we should have 100% concrete window of both of their returns. But it looks like week 4. So again, if you're looking at a draft and the running backs are disappearing and you need some running back help like I did a little bit, you know, it's not the end of the world there. We need to go find some probably wide receivers here after that, maybe a quarterback. I feel like wide receivers where I want to go next, but I don't know if there's going to be a guy there. I've got a few guys I really like over there, but we'll see about it. Xavier Worthy. That's honestly a solid pick. Man, and I'm really halfway starting to think about some defensive players. I cannot even lie to you, but man, I might take my bets on rookies late and really use my picks to secure. And there's always going to be y'all hate me. Y'all hate me. That's all I have to say. John Jay says, have you drafted any Raven players? I actually have not drafted any Raven players. I was going to take Derrick Henry, but Captain Niner took him before me, so I ended up taking Kyle Pitts. And then I went running back with my next pick in Aaron Jones. We running back 3 straight picks. So we're looking to switch it up a little bit here. But we're going to see how this board falls. Let me see here. There are some linebackers that can make some points. I can see why some of these people took those players, to be 100% honest with you. I 100%. Ooh, Nick Bosa. I wonder what the 49er tiers taste like that in the draft right now. I know everyone's got to be like mad. Ooh, Goddard, Hutchinson coming off the board. Jordan Love coming off the board. I got to start thinking about my pick here. There's no corner that I'm 100% on yet. Defensive line could yield some. Same as your me picking Henry Tears. Cat responded to what I said in the chat. As long as Malik Collins, and Leonard Floyd's injuries are minor and they come back healthy, that 49ers pass rush actually has potential to be way better than it was last year. Of course, Hargrave missing the beginning of last year as well. I don't hate me, 49er fans. My only critique I'm worried about your team is going to be your run defense. I know Hargrave again coming back is going to be a big, huge part of that. Armstead leaving, mitigated. But that's my only concern. I think your secondary got better. I think your pass rush along the front seven got better. But they've got something to prove on that run defense. So hold them accountable, and you'll be all right for sure. Steve says BA signs now. Everyone's arguing about Pearsall. I know. I saw that Pearsall got shot in an attempted robbery. Thoughts and prayers to him and 49er fans for that. I saw that as it happened live, basically. 49 meters media coming down to the final seconds here on his pick. And then Captain's going to be back on the clock. Captain already got Breece Hall, Derrick Henry, Njoku, Evans, and Purdy. So he's got two running backs, a wide receiver, a tight end, and a quarterback. He could really go wide receiver or tight end here, I feel like. Of course, a lot of people starting to take some defensive players off the board. There's a lot of good players still left on this board. A lot of good players. Myles Garrett's going to actually put up. I mean, he was the defensive player of the year. Fred Warner's worth every point in tackle. I'm going to believe in my boy. Beak! We drafted our first Ravens player. I don't care what anyone says. I'm taking Justin Madubuike at 7.7. We took Justin Madubuike 7.7. I think he's gonna pull in a lot of points for us on that pick. I think so if you haven't taken a look at the Ravens starting depth chart that was released the other day, the starting three are Beak, Pierce, and Travis Jones, who we are so excited for. Like, so excited for. He's lined up against Andrew Voorhees, and one of the few guys that can solo push him back. Might be a breakout guy. Ooh, Lad McConkey coming off the board. Not a bad pick, to be honest with you. Addison, Myles Garrett, to go Rick on the board. Myles Garrett, good pick too. Spongy probably listening in on that pick. What's kind of funny, growing up, one of my best friends' first name was his name, Garrett. It's kind of sad we don't really talk anymore. He just ghosted. But, life be hard for all of us. It'd be like that sometimes, especially when you get older. Let's see who the GOAT's taking. The Browns defense? I appreciate you so much, Spongy, for the shout out. At least I'm right on it. Dalton Schultz coming off the board. I think Beak's going to be so solid. He put up, 10 plus sacks last year. Every tackle counts as well. Assists are only half a point, but to be able to put up a sack, a couple tackles, maybe a fourth fumble. Tucker, my boy. No. I'm so sad about that Tucker pick. I'm not even gonna lie to you guys. Like, that hurt deep down a little bit. That did. That really hurt. Man, do I take a linebacker here? Like, I'm halfway tempted to. I really am. There's going to be some good ones, too. Let's go to the all board here, though. We got to figure out something here soon on one of these picks. And I think I know what I'm looking for. It's going to be tough, though. Joe Stevens now on the clock. Trying to see, how do I... So y'all can see full picks. Let's take a look. We're going to go ahead and take Jared Goff off the board here. Continue that progress up there with that team. We had to fill out a quarterback here eventually. I'm glad he's still on the board there. Looked like a little bit of a quarterback run. Yo, what up, Kenny? There are a lot of people in here, and there aren't any likes. I appreciate you, my guy, for the shout out. Yeah, we're doing a 14-man league here on the Sleeper app, by the way, for those that are new joining in here. We've got a lot of different content creators from Denver to the 49ers, the Eagles, the Seahawks, Packers, like tons of people. Kenny's not in that chat, Sponge. But yeah, we've got a lot of picks going on here. 14-man league with defensive players at D-line, linebacker, and defensive back. This is going to be our third fantasy football league. And again, we're going to be doing now every Thursday, 6 p.m. Eastern time via StreamYard, a fantasy football show before the Thursday night kickoffs to make sure not only do we get our fantasy football lineup straight, but hopefully maybe we can help you make some of those critical decisions. And, if you win your leagues, make sure you come back and hit that like and subscribe button. I wouldn't ask you to unless I provided some good advice. You feel me? We're not so desperate. We're just, please like and subscribe to the channel. No, we got to provide something. It's not that kind of relationship. But he's relaying the message through. So Tig says, so far, whose team y'all F the most? I guess I don't FW. I don't know. I'm dumb. I'm old. I don't know what FW, if it stands for something or if that was mistype. I like the 69 team. It's the Ravens' year, guys. It's the Ravens' year. And one thing we're going to have to look out for a little bit now, I need to pull my roster up, is going to be our bye week, which is week 5. So we've got to start thinking into that a little bit. I'm a little sad Justin Tucker got taken, to be 100% honest with you. That hurt a little bit. At least we've got the quarterback situation figured out, QB1. We've got, hopefully, our 3 running backs for the season. We do need a little bit of wide receiver help. 49ers media seems like he might have got kicked out. I love how Streamlabs out of nowhere is like,
dude.
So yes, I guess you have to watch in chat. Be careful of that. Kenny says today he got CMC Kyron, and that's solid, my boy. And the question is, of course, between it down there in Miami is Raheem versus, of course, Devon. Raheem, of course, put up 20 touchdowns last year. Devon, I picked up on free agency wire. He carried me the early part of my season. So I was really excited about that. I love everyone explained to me in chat. FW means fuck with means like. I'm so dumb. Thank you for explaining that to me. I mean, dude, fantasy, we talk about fantasy team or real teams? That's the real question. Like, there's some good teams. Let me see here. Let me see if I can scroll up and take a look. Whose team am I really liking the most? Cam's actually got a good team. Lambo, even though he's auto picking, weirdly could have a pretty good team as well. It's going to be very dependent on a few things. Got to make sure I don't miss my pick here. Checking Joe's team. Joe's got a high upside. Devontae is going to see all the targets. Odunze, if he turns into the primary target, the problem with Odunze is the competition between, of course, Keenan Allen, DJ Moore, who carried my fantasy team last year with no quarterback play. And then, of course, Odunze kind of slotted in as number 3. But if anything happens to any of those other wide receivers, Odunze's value skyrockets to a true number 1, no question about it. So I kind of like Joe's team a little bit there. Hear me out. The Goat's got a little bit of sauce working there as well. And I'm telling you, Kyle, despite taking Mahomes over 1 overall, he is slowly working that team back, actually. He's got a lot of really solid picks. He's got one controversy guy, though, that I think is going to lose the running back job by the end of the season. But we'll see about that. I know, Steve-O. Let's see. There you go, Steve-O. You got to type it in right, but Streamlabs is working. What up, Penguin? Welcome in, my boy. But you got to type it right. We do have the Streamlabs bot working, so you can do different little fun things like gamble. God, what's the quest one? The pirate ship. I don't have Streamlabs up, so my apologies. Welcome in Under the Helmet. We got a lot of people. What's up, everyone? Welcome in. This is, again, a 14-man league we have going on in Sleeper. A lot of these guys are content creators. This is a preview, basically, of every Thursday. We're going to set all 3 of my different fantasy football lineups up, as well as do questions and Q&A before that first game every Thursday to help you make sure you get your picks in. If you are, by the way, if you're like, hit the subscribe button. Streamlabs doesn't really notify me correctly on that. So if you like and subscribe, make sure you tell me in the chat. Yell at me. It's fine. We joke about it all the time. Do mind the cussing, though, because Streamlabs bot will yell at you. Aaron Cook. I believe I did take Aaron Cook. I'm sorry. I took Aaron Jones and then Jonathan Brooks. Jonathan Reed, Jesse Bates, Chris Godwin. We've seen a lot of defensive players. Y'all be messing with me hard. Again, Captain Niner, Sponge, Chimera, all these guys are like in here listening live, and they're also here live in the draft. So big shout outs to all of them. Yep, Kenny, I've actually taken Brooks in every single fantasy football league. I think when he comes back week 4, the Carolina offense shows new signs of life, and he becomes an RB1 option in the league. Hopefully that's true. And again, you got to make sure you check if your league has IR. My leagues had 2, so I use both spots. One of my leagues, I've got Nick Chubb and Jonathan Brooks sitting on IR. So I've got huge potential after week 4 pup list activation. My team might just take off. And then again, I've got good options behind them if anything happens with injury as well. I'm really excited about it. Let's see here. I've been working on it, my guy. I gotta do some things. Under the helmet, whose team you like so far? Honestly, Kyle's making a great comeback. He was on auto pick at the beginning of the draft, took Patrick Mahomes. He's making a pretty solid comeback. I don't know about that Jalen Reed pick, but I don't know Jalen Reed's numbers that well. And of course, if Christian Watson goes down to injury, Jalen Reed's fantasy value goes up. Ooh, Kyle Hamilton came off the board. That's actually a great pick. And I talked about that a little bit, that I think that Kyle Hamilton had a huge fantasy value in this draft, or in this format, because he plays close to line of scrimmage. He gets forced fumbles, he gets tackles, he gets interceptions. He blitzes off on plays as well, so he has sack potential as well. I think he's such a high value defensive back. I'm a little upset that 49er media beat me to it, to be 100% honest. Steve says, I haven't hit a like since be signed. I'm on strike. Likes are soft. And again, I'm trying to remember the other things other than gambling. What else can you do other than gamble points? How do you have such low points? There's no way that's true. James Conner comes off the board here to Joe Stevens. Oh. Oh, Nick Chubb comes off the board to Chimera. He's looking at the IR list right now. That's not bad, my boy. You with Rachaad White and Najee, you got a solid 2 as long as Jalen Warren doesn't cut too much in. Zaire Franklin, the Indy linebacker, coming off the board to Spongy. That's a solid pick. He's a tackle monster. Any of the linebackers that were top 5 in tackles last year are honestly probably worth a pick here in the 9th round. That's a solid pick, my guy. I'm so mad about Tucker. I really wanted Tucker too. I wanted Ravens defense, Ravens special teams, individual players, and then Tucker. And that's the real Raven players I wanted for this season in fantasy, at least in this league. And Tucker got ripped from me. Roquan got ripped from me. Kyle got ripped from me. All 3 of the guys I was looking at every level of defense got ripped from me. One of them just on an auto pick too is the best part about it. And but I got my boy Beak, so I'm really hoping for it. There is a little bit of a cooldown now on the gamble.
What the?
We got? Oh my god. Oh my god, he took a kicker, 2 kickers. It's just Is Dari listening in and just like, I'm gonna rob him of another kicker? Oh my god, that's too funny. That's absolutely hilarious. I don't know what to say.
What the?
I at least like that My God, he took 2 kickers, 3 tight ends. But you can at least say he is dramatically affecting the draft. Kenny, there are 14 players in this league, as well as individual defensive players are turned on. 1 defensive line, 1 linebacker, and 1 defensive back. 1 QB, 2 RBs, 2 wide receivers, 1 tight end, a flex of RB, wide receiver, or tight end. There's bonus points to things like big plays too, like a 40-plus yard or 50-plus yard touchdown are worth more.
What the?
Kicks are worth a little more. But also, if your kicker misses from under 39 yards, I will penalize your kicker. Be warned. I said it in the group. I've made sure to make it clear. If your kicker misses under 39, I will penalize that kicker. Just 1 point. It's not terrible, but it's just one of those ones. Reach King Henry. That's wild. That's actually Captain's team, who's actually one of the teams that I like so far. Captain's done a really good job so far, in my opinion. Let's take a look here. We need some wide receiver help. I kind of like Ricky Pearsall is not going to be the pick. We're going to go ahead and take Xavier Legette here. I think him and Bryce Young have developed a really good connection, and I'm really hoping for big things from that young man. Jameson Williams would have been the much safer pick, and I actually took that in my last draft. Deshaun Jackson says, I talked to Trent. He's on his way now. Now Jeremy Fowler says he might miss games. I know, and I feel for y'all. You know, I will be honest, though. When I was watching, I watched a little bit of the 49ers' 3rd preseason game. And your backup left tackle, I can't remember the name off the top of my head, actually had some really good run blocks. I didn't get to see much of the pass blocking, but the run blocking, especially I also saw one of your Burford, I think, actually shine on the goal line run. He was definitely downfield and finding guys, if you know what I mean. Rookies flying off. I really did think about doing an all-rookie team. I'm not even going to lie to you. Like, I talked to a bum in the parking lot of Santa Clara. He said he took 2 dumps. Oh my God. But again, thoughts and prayers to y'all for Ricky Pearsall. That's wild. Do not. And I literally, I forgot where I was watching a podcast, and a guy was talking. He's like, yeah, man, they told me, like, you know, and I know, man, I'll go my favorite little China shop when I visit this town, but I know, like, you don't wear none, you don't, low profile, man. And he talked about he was sitting there just eating his Chinese, and then he straight watched like 2 bangers straight walk in, and he's just shit, time fucking go. Like, and again, if anyone's joined Adult Beverage, we got our Ravens tumbler here. We're sipping on a little bit of Crown and Coke here as we work through this 14-man draft. This is wild. Honestly, I've been so excited for this draft. We got the last players at the last minute, like, so I hear my girlfriend playing Fortnite right now. I just heard the bus. The girlfriend confirmed playing Fortnite right now. People hated Ricky, so this is a publicity stunt. I know. Wonder if he got an insurance policy. We need to investigate. Ooh, Brian Burns, Calvin Ridley, Brian Branch. That's actually a good pick to the Packers fan. That's a great pick, to be honest with you. Huge fan. I actually really like that Branch pick. Chimera says, let's go for it's sad, guys. So the other day I mounted a 40-inch 3 TV to some metal studs here to my right. So I have a PC monitor here. I have a second monitor here. I did the same setup on my girlfriend's side. And then continuing in a line is the 43-inch TV. But I went to go mount mine the other day right here to my left. So ideally, I will have my main monitor here, a second monitor here where I have StreamYard, and then I will have a third 43-inch TV on a swivel mount, so I can actually swivel it towards the the stream if I want to, and have either another game on, maybe NFL Red Zone, so I can stay more up to date on all the games across the league. Maybe do another StreamYard board to accentuate comments. There's a lot of stuff I can do. I joked with a girlfriend. I was like, on Sunday, guys, I'm gonna have my setup, and then another game, and then another game, and then another game, and then Red Zone. So I'll have like 3 to 5 games up plus Red Zone, but we hit a problem mounting the TV in the wall to my left. And it's the first TV I've ever mounted, to be 100% honest with you, so I don't really know what to do to fix the issue. So if I got any home improvement guys, that guy like that'll give you a 30-minute talk on about hex bolts in a Home Depot. I'm all open ears. You feel me? I had my manhood tested hanging a TV, and we're at a 50% pass fail rate right now. This is wild. I feel like how far are we through this draft right now? Okay, we're about halfway through. Okay. So we're on prime mark for about 2 hours, which is on point. Cole Kmet, the tight end out of Chicago, coming off the board. Again, another solid one. What do I need to look at? Wide receiver, tight end, 3 running backs, quarterback, defense, wide receiver. I'm looking at 2, maybe 3 positions right now, if I can be honest with you. Wild, though, Tucker. Like, how does it take 3 kickers? No way they were the highest fantasy value pick there. Like, right? Let me double check my bye weeks here, because I don't want to set up too many bye weeks. Okay, we're still pretty spaced out on the bye weeks. Ooh. This is going to be a good one. Cahill taking Daniel Hunter. That's another solid pick. Oh, what up, Cap for Life, coming in here. So I've come to realize my formula after the 8th round of drafting your team is when you start stacking, then handcuffing, either late or mid in the draft, followed by defense in the 12th or 13th round. Shakir in the 9th, Benson in the 10th, Dobbs in the 10th. Man, I already took my shot on Benson, to be 100% honest with you. I took it way too early, round 6 on him. So far, my team, Amon St. Brown, Garrett Wilson, Kyle Pitts, Aaron Jones, Jonathan Brooks, going to be my early IR guy, Trey Benson, Justin Matabike for D-line, Jared Goff, the Ravens defense in round 9, because I think we're going to be special. And Xavier Legette is my last pick at wide receiver. I'm looking at 2, maybe 3 positions right here with my next pick. In this draft, again, we're on a 14-man league here on the Sleeper app. You also have defensive line, linebacker, and defensive backs. So you can really have I talked to Cahill, who's in the draft here, who he's not new to Sleeper, so I'm really happy that I have someone like him to consult on matters like this as well. We lowered across the board points for defensive players, basically, because we didn't want defensive players to really dominate this and like determine the entire thing, but we wanted them to give it like that real feel and like give a little fun twist in a sense, but also still like I wanted them to be the tiebreakers in a sense, is what my mind was trying to go for. And I think a lot of people would agree those tiebreakers. Joe Stevens took Tyjae Spears, who was one of the guys I really liked. Man, great picks by both of those guys, honestly. I actually got Cap for Life. I got the number 7 spot. 7 out of 14. I got dead middle, which I've honestly I don't think I've ever had dead middle of the pack. All right, we're back on the board. Jameson Williams still on the board. Do I pair him though? That's a risky pick right there. I think it's a solid pick though. I feel like I can't. Hold on, let me take a look here. Let me take a look. I think Jameson's too high to pass on there. I really thought I had to take Jameson with the 10th pick, not the 11th pick. Either way, it worked out for me a little bit there, so I'm happy to make that pick. Lambo taking Hollywood Brown right after means he's, and he's on auto, so it's whatever. Joe coming on the board now next. Again, Joe took Tyjae Spears right before this. Streamlabs doesn't let you post any type of links in the chat for obvious reasons. Kenny says, once I got top 7 studs, I just start taking 2 of the same thing in a row. Screws everyone, forces people to reach. You're not wrong on that, though. That's some dirty. I like to hoard draft picks, handcuff a little bit, and force trades later. Cap says, Amon St. Brown, White, Jacob, Waddle, Stroud, Kincaid, Jackson Smith and Jiba, Ford, Shakir, Benson, Dobbs. That's a solid lineup, my guy. Solid. That's weird. I guess, what it was is it considers all of those dots as potentially like you trying to put a website broken up is my guess. Streamlabs be watching hard. That's all I got to say about that. But it is a good thing to kind of have. I think that's actually what happened with Penguin. Penguin kept trying to post stuff and he was a moderator and it wasn't, like it's just not allowed really. And I think that's why Streamlabs, I think, eventually kicked him off of the moderator thing, which I have to go back through. Good kid. Good kid. Derry taking the New York Jets defense. Is he going to just start taking defenses now? And it's the same one, Kyle Hamilton. It's same defense that Kyle Hamilton has succeeded in. So honestly, that's a solid pick. Spongy going with Derwin James there. I like the pick. TJ Edwards coming off the board, Chicago. He's going to be a tackle monster for Chicago this year. Kind of trying to fill a little bit of what Roquan used to do there in Chicago. Honestly, Derry's got maybe he's going to be a trade target for people, but if people are kind of happy with their kickers and their tight ends, he's not going to have a lot to work with. To goat Rick on now. Last pick, 3 picks. He got Elliott, the kicker out of Philadelphia, Patrick Queen, and Jerome Ford, the running back out of Cleveland. All solid. All solid. Man, I think too, pass defenses are worth 1 point potentially as well. So shutdown corners have some good value. There's Antoine Winfield. That's a great pick as well in 12th round. He's got, because again, you can get points for sacks, interceptions, forced fumbles. There's a little bit on interception, return, fumble, returns for every 20 yards, plus touchdowns. Tackles for loss, tackles, just across the board can create points. Again, I did load that. Like in Sleeper, they based the stat line for sacks at 6 points, which is outrageous. Can you imagine? Like, just and the interceptions are worth 6, sacks are worth 6. Like I had to turn down some of the points a little bit. I think I set it to 3 points for a sack, or 2 points for a sack, 3 points for an interception, because I feel like it's slightly harder to get an interception than a sack. Maybe I'm biased. Oh, Spongy. That's a great pick, Sponge, honestly. Ben Sinnott, he was one of those guys I thought was going to go so high in this draft. I don't even remember if I covered Sinnott on my draft special anymore, to be 100% honest with you. He was like, to me, like Sam Laporta last year. He was so just a sure thing. You know what? Hold on. Let me see if I covered him on my draft special. I don't want to misquote here. Hold on. I got to sign into my Microsoft stuff. No, I don't want to stay signed in forever. We not that type of person. I forgot I have like multiple up here. Oops, I closed the wrong one. Give me one moment. I'm so sorry. I closed the wrong tab. There we go. It should be back up and at the right thing. Okay. But on the draft special, let me double check here. I want to make sure I get this correct. Steve says, Verizon keeps charging me 6 cents extra last 3 months, so I called and got a 5. Nice, my boy. That's how you do it. Good stuff. Kirk Cousins came off the board. Joe coming down to the last second. Did Joe time out on us? Jalen Polk actually has high potential value. I really like that pick as well. And auto pick. Oh, Ernest Jones out of, it's me on the clock. Let me see here. This is going to be tough. This is so hard. Let's go to the all board. Oh, I really don't want that Nick Bolton pick. I'm really thinking about that one. I'm taking Cortland. I think it's a good pick. I'm loading up on wide receiver. I've got 5 wide receivers. I'm deep. I don't need any more. I need to find probably some more running backs. I need to take a couple shots here. I really wanted a defensive back, but I just there wasn't a guy I was 100% in love with. I feel like I lost a lot of the guys I really wanted. There's like 2 to 3 guys I'm really looking at, but I feel like I can get them at such a later value that it's better just to take other stuff. Same thing kind of with the linebacker. Like there's some I really like, but at the same time, those aren't bad actually. Those aren't bad. I'm seeing actually a few guys now that I really like. Okay, we're good. We're good. I know who I'm taking these next picks. I'm not even worried about it now. I'm actually excited. What we're going to see here. Yeah, Senna is listed behind Ertz, though, but I have like I said, my guess is that before the end of the season, that Senna is the starting tight end for the Washington Commanders. And I think he develops a real good connection with his fellow rookie quarterback and Jaden Daniels. That's one of my big predictions here. I like Tyjae Spears. Tyjae Spears was one of the guys that I featured on my draft special year. He was one of my bang table guys. From my understanding, Tennessee fans were actually really excited about this young man in the limited amount of snaps he got behind Derrick Henry last year. And some diehard fans, now don't jump down my throat. I'm not an expert on Tennessee. I heard from some diehard Tennessee fans that they weren't very happy with the Tony Pollard signing, that they felt it was a little unneeded, and that they could have felt comfortable maybe going with Tyjae Spears and maybe a second tier running back in free agency. And then, of course, maybe adding another draft pick. You know, we'll see. We'll see, right? Jaden says he's got Jaden and Sinnott. I've got Goff and Amon St. Brown, so it'd be like that sometimes. You know what I'm saying? It just be like that. I've never played in Sleeper is a league just like an app that was designed. Can you have defensive players on the bench, Darwin? I do believe so. And then of course there's 6 bench spots, 2 IR spots. So I'm not 100% sure how it's gonna work. Maybe I don't know if I can expand roster size afterwards. And I understand the Dynasty League thing. That's going to be coming next year, so don't you worry about it. Cam Newton at CMC. Got Heisenberg. What's good, Darwin? Did a couple of public 10-man drafts yesterday. Got Burrow, Gibbs, Henry, Chase, Waddle, Kelsey, Amari Cooper, Bengals. That's a solid team. A little heavy on Bengal players, but you just got to make sure bye week you really put a lot of work in or thought process into that bye week. We're getting close to being done, Sponge. We're getting pretty close, I feel like. Let me see that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 picks left total on each team, it would seem like, at least for me. So Ricky Pearsall, wow. Man, I wonder what Kyle's doing with that one. I might have to go get a drink here in a second, guys. I didn't think I was going to finish all this. Ooh, DeAndre coming off the board to Kyle right after, loading up on the wide receivers. I'm so loaded on wide receiver, and I've got good bye weeks. I've got technically 5 wide receivers on my roster. This is definitely going to be an interesting one. Let's take a look. Ricky! Oh, too funny. Curtis Samuel coming off the board to send me that could actually be a great pick. One of the free agent additions that they made down there in Buffalo. Jalen Phillips, as long as he can come back healthy too. Gus Edwards taking the bet basically against Gus versus JK in that with that pick. I might counter her with that one if he's still up there just to have some fun. Titans defense coming off the board to the Pack fans. Ooh, that's some belief in the the Titans defense. Cahill next up on the board took Zach Moss, Daniel Hunter, and Calvin Ridley with the last 3. It's definitely getting interesting, like which, it's with me running everything, it's a little harder to see that and analyze, because in a real league like this, you should be going across everyone basically. By the way, here I did cover Ben Sinnott on my draft special this year. He was the first tight end on my draft special, 3rd overall tight end, 2nd in receiving yards, 7th in average depth of target, 2nd in contested catches, 6th in contested catches. Or I'm sorry, contested targets, 6th in contested catches, 5th in run blockers, 2nd in run blocks, like total count. Blocked more in a gap scheme than a zone scheme, but had higher grades in zone. 3rd in missed tackles forced and 4th in yards per route run. So I think Ben Sinnott has great potential, to be 100% honest with you. Like I said, I think he takes that starting job by the end of the year. I love Hurts, love the dude. I love his wife, I love his family. Um, he has struggled a little bit with injuries over the past years. He is, a veteran at this point. But I like the pick Sponge. Like I said, I did cover him a little bit. Steve-O says, so if Singletary clears waivers, should I pick him up or drop Ford? I have the last. Ooh. I'm not a huge fan of Jerome Ford. Didn't he get traded from the Indianapolis Colts last year? I think Singletary provides a little bit better of an option. However, Singletary, the starting running back in New York, if I'm not mistaken, for the Giants, I'm a big fan, Steve-O, of Tyrone Tracy Jr., the running back out of Purdue that they took. He really, when I saw him on film, reminded me of Isaiah Pacheco in his rookie year. He just ran like he was angry at the ground, is the only way to describe it. So Steve, if he's there in your fantasy football league after waivers, like I said, if Singletary doesn't really, work out, keep an eye on that young man out of Purdue. I think he's got huge upside. Captain took Geno Smith, Raheem Mostert, and Adonai Mitchell with the last 3 picks. And there goes Hubbard off the board. We're going to go over here to linebackers. I think we found a few guys that we really like. But I feel like it's too early. It's too early. Let's go look at some running backs here. Do we take the bet with JK? I think we take the bet with JK. We're going to have a little bet. The Hard Bowl is real this year, ladies and gentlemen. I'm so excited for the Hard Bowl. There are so many Raven players on the Chargers roster right now that is just like 13-17 LSU over USC with 9 minutes left. Ooh. Kenny says, I love Pacheco, but he's not the guy in the red zone. It's Kelsey Mahomes. Yeah. And I think they're starting to, Pacheco is looking good, but I think that they've always just, some guy, next guy up at the running back position a little bit. Steve-O says, I see the Giants trailing a lot. That is potentially true, and it gives a lot of value to some of those players. Singletary neighbors are good, and Singletary has great potential. And see, here's the thing. Tracy Porter, if I'm not mistaken, already, if you look at his fantasy news, as potentially the RB3, or I'm sorry, third down back because of his pass catching potential. Like I said, I kind of really like him. Oh, I want to take a few swings on players. Nick Bolton, a great choice by Lambeau, honestly. Joe Stevens here. Doesn't show Joe's here. Oh, there he is. There he is. He's back. I didn't want to pick for him. He's probably just waiting it out here. Under the Craft says, how much do you like Jair Brown in real life, not fantasy, Darvin? I mean, he was a solid safety. He was one of those guys that, was on the edge of my draft special last year. The solid player. I thought he might go high enough that he wouldn't be on my special because he was too much of a sure thing. But he's a solid player all around, and he fits what a lot of these teams are doing now, moving basically a bigger safety down towards the line of scrimmage to play that big nickel, big dime, basically. And Kyle Hamilton's one of those guys essentially. And Jair, my only question is I'm a little skeptical of how all those safeties fit. Hufanga, Jair, and Mustafa all work in conjunction to make sure that they don't get beat deep. But I'll be honest, I know nothing about that. The only people that know anything about that are the 49ers coaches and staff. And we'll find out once the season starts, but they haven't given us anything to be concerned about, so not really too much. Oh, and little Spongy takes the guy I'm talking about. Sponge straight stream sniping me. Brown is number 27, so I like him. Julian Love is also a dog. And see, that's something I talked about a little bit with the Seahawks defense. I'm actually big fans. Of course, Mike McDaniel's coming in there. They brought Tyrell Dodson and brought in another linebacker. They brought in a few different people that I think, and then of course Julian Love with another free veteran safety that just, again, McDonald knows what he wants in the safeties basically. And I think the Seahawks and the Rams defense are going to be just dynamically different than they were last year. Aztec safety, Mustafa gonna stuff you and stop you. But anyway, the GOAT Rick up next here. He took Winfield, Elliott, and Queen with his last pick. So he got his linebacker and his defensive back. And I mean, honestly, the potential of some of these defensive players compared to, other players that are on the board, it's like a no-brainer, right? I think I'm going to make a huge... I think I'm about to make the reach of the draft. We'll see if anyone can guess what my pick is. Can anyone guess what they think? Here, my next pick, 14.8. I'm going to make the reach of the draft. And I'm again, Sponge. So I hope everything works for you on that pick. Just like Chase Brown, you're kind of following my draft a little bit, taking some shots at these young guys, and that I think are going to be the stars. Chase Brown was on my draft special last year. I really like the young man. I think he got slighted and didn't get a real shot because the Bengals were doing the right thing by Joe Mixon a little bit. But I think Chase Brown explodes onto the scene this year, just like Joe Mixon did his rookie year. And with that Bengals offense, they're going to rely on him. And he's great catching the ball out of the backfield. He's got true breakaway speed and acceleration. And there's actually another player on that Bengals team that I think is going to, Sponge said he's got someone in his queue that's ranked somewhere around the 5,000s. And like you're saying there, Kenny, that 3-3 stack where you run three safeties basically kind of deal. And a lot of teams do run cover 3. You got to know when you got to run the cover 3, when you got to run the cover 2. And there's a lot of reasons to run a cover 3. And then just you being able to disguise a little bit out of that cover 3. It's just, case in point, the Bears used to run that cover 3 defense all the time. And then every once in a while, they would take Urlacher and run him in that, that middle slot for the third to take away that deep post. They would basically just bait you into throwing that post, and then Urlacher would drop into that third coverage essentially and steal that ball every time. They ran on that 4-3 man, though. Your front four got to be able to get there. You have to be able to get pressure without blitzing. Ooh, we got 2 picks here. Oh my God, my filling's coming out. That's rough. I'm not even going to talk about how I spent $3,000 already fixing my mouth, and I still need like another $1,000 to $1,200 of work just to get stabilized again. We're not going to talk about that. Montez Sweat, Jerry Jeudy, Philadelphia Eagles defense coming off the Sponge. I mean, pick round 14 defense and you try the defense you really believe in this year, can't be mad at that. Divine Chimera, aka my boy, who's a Buffalo Bills fan here, who's probably stream sniping us as well. Kirk Cousins, Knox. Okay. I got to remember this tight end's name before I get in trouble. It's going to be interesting. That's for sure. I still need running backs, to be honest, though. I've got a few guys I've got an eye on. But the question is, do I take them now or hold up just a little bit longer? There's some good kickers. Tough. I got to start thinking about maybe some other players here. Let's see. I'll be interviewing Tig soon, my best friend and his cousin on a new podcast. That's dope, my guy. Glad to hear that. Let's see. I mean, Bobby Wagner led NFL tackles last year. That's really tough. He's there. I don't know if he's my guy. Byron Young's a good pick. I think Joey Bosa's this pick. Or is it Grenard? Peyton Wilson's not bad. Oh, it's Judon. I think it's Matt Judon here. Joey Bosa would have been a good pick too. Let's see. This is where it's going to get interesting. Which defensive back to take? Which is, I think, where we're going next. We definitely want a starter. There's a couple good players here. This is going to be tough. Cooper DeJean's pretty high on that board. Is that who you're about to take, Sponge? Or Kenyon Mitchell. That's probably who you're about to take. Let's see. Who am I thinking of? Who would y'all take at defensive back? That's what I want to know. There's a lot of really good picks. Like Deron Bland, but he's headed to IR, so he's done for the season, actually. I like Cameron Curl over there and actually in LA's defense. I think that he's one of the reasons they're going to be so much better. Isaiah Simmons possibly out there in New York. Javon Holland was one of the best safeties last year. Singletary is a great player. Christian Gonzalez was one of the best defensive backs last year. Kenyon Mitchell looked good. Terrion Arnold's probably going to play really well over in Detroit. Dax Hill taking over there in Cincy a little bit. Jalen Ramsey's questionable. Kool-Aid, there's a lot of really good players here. Want a guy that's going to get tackles as well. Safeties don't normally repeat as often as we'd like. Let's see. Is Jesse Bates still over there in Atlanta? I don't know if he is. He is. I think he's already gone. Yeah, he's already gone, sadly. That's tough. He could be a good pick. He's already gone. He's in a new defense. This is tough. Yeah, that's probably not a bad pick. Not a bad pick. I do need a lot of stuff, though. Chandler says start Mozart or Javante. Ooh, PPR. I'd say start Mozart, especially because it's the beginning of the season right now. And just even though Devon is going to get some touches, Mozart's still going to get the goal line touches, as well as, because Devon's coming back from injury and Mozart is the veteran in this situation. I would lean on Mozart early and maybe, of course, keep an eye on the situation for later in the season. But that's a great question, Chandler. We're getting back here. Hopefully our pick's coming up, man. I'm speeding up some of these picks a little bit here. Buccaneers defense going off the board to the Pack fan. Cahill on the clock. Oh, there's so many good potential here. How's that depth chart look? Let's say it won't show me that, will it? I thought it would. I really thought it showed. Let's see. Cade Otton was a guy that looked really good in college. But we really need some positions. Philly says, look at the other chat, the kicker I wanted. Bates. Oh, Detroit took Bates, the kicker from Detroit. Oh my gosh. My turn. I'm on the clock, and of course, Cahill took Cotton, left me without a guy right there. That really does hurt a little bit. We're gonna take a swing on a guy here. I think Theo Johnson wins this tight end job in New York, and I think he's gonna be, especially with Darren Waller retiring. He is listed number 2 on the depth chart, but I think we'll be all right with that. Sorry you lost your kicker, by the way. I'm sorry about that, Swan. She knew whoever Sydney is. I'm guessing. I don't know. Maybe if that's someone Kyle invited. Maybe it's his like girlfriend or wife. Ugh. Spell my name right, then we can talk. Oh my god, I'm tired. Oh, too funny. I'm gonna grab a drink. I'll be right back, guys. You know, not to brag or anything, but my girlfriend just said she won her game of Fortnite. So suck it, guys. Does your girlfriend win Fortnite? Oh, Joe took the Seahawks defense. That's solid.
Let's go, team! Let's go!
Too funny. Let's see here. Ooh, Dallas Turner. That's a great pick. Diggs coming off the board. Spongy's up next. He just took his Eagles. Oh, Jalen Carter. He's making a leap of faith there. For those that don't know, she won, guys. So I still need, let's see here. I need running back. I could use a, nah, I'm going to have to lean on my wide receiver for my flexes. I need defensive back. I need a kicker. This is starting to get a little rough. A little rough, if you feel me. I'm back. How's the draft going? Did you draft only 49ers? Of course I only drafted 49ers, my guy. Don't you know? Oh, I wish I had a little bit of background music playing. But let's see here. Did Goat Rick on the clock? Dairy on dog. Dari on. I don't know. We're gonna probably go ahead and do that. What is the 4th night? It is the 4th night. And then God said, no, I'm just kidding. But to go Rick taking this down to the wire here. This might be a last minute pick. Ezekiel Elliott and Bobby Wagner. If Wagner repeats, it's solid, honestly. He led the league in tackles last year, and now moving over to the Commanders defense with a whole new staff and a lot of new players on that team. I think Cameron Curl's going to hurt a little bit losing him, but I'm sure Washington's got a plan, right? I really like Washington. I felt like has not had a lot of hope in a long time. And I feel that the change in ownership and the change in the coaching staff will make a dramatic change over there as well. So let's see. I don't know if I can change it live is the problem. Honestly, we're on about exactly the time I thought we'd be on. I said about 11 o'clock we'd be done. It's 10:54, so it is going to probably run about 10 minutes past 11, but we should be done at 11. You could always just tell it to draft your highest available players too. And again, I'm sorry, but it's 14 people, man. I only gave them 120 seconds to pick. That's really not a lot of time when you're really thinking about it. Or wait, no, it's 2 minutes, so 100. Wait. Yeah, okay. Sorry. I'm losing my mind. 2 minutes. So okay, I'm so sorry. It's 120 seconds. I'm just losing my mind. I don't think I can actually change the settings like that. I can, of course, if someone's not there, click auto pick. But it seems like if it says auto, it makes the pick immediately. And then, like, I've noticed, like, Joe will drop back in every once in a while. So I don't want to, like, auto forward if someone's taking it. Oh, Cameron Byron and Deron Bland coming off the board. If Deron plays anything like last year and leads in, gets those interceptions, could be solid. Trevis Gibson. Let's see here. Sponge says, caught you, Darwin. He said Bland was out for the year. He's not. And like I said, if he can get those interceptions, man, he might be a pretty good defensive back. I kind of like a little bit more of the potential of safeties for the tackles, but interceptions are worth more points than sacks. Let's see. We need someone here. I got a guy for you, Rich. Let's see. Definitely going to be rough. Joe on the clock. Auto pick it. We're going to take Dicker. Cameron Dicker. Like I said, they signed him to a 4-year extension, making him one of the highest paid kickers in the NFL. And under Jim Harbaugh, they're going to kick field goals. I think he's got tremendously higher fantasy value this year than he did last year. Hopefully I'm right. We'll find out about that, right? Jake Moody coming off the board to captain, so I made the right pick going for a kicker probably. He might already just had him queued up, though. 49er meter on the clock. Ooh, Jaleel McLaughlin. That's a good pick. That's a good pick. Let's see. I still need a defensive back. There's a couple guys like I'm looking at. I still could go find a backup quarterback, running back. This is going to be a tough one. Oh, I could. I really could. When is my quarterback's bye week? Jared Goff, week 5. Let's take a look at the week 5 matchups. Is there anything we're really liking? Take a look at this week 5 schedule in the NFL. Ooh. Oh, he's definitely already gone, though. That's not going to have an option. What quarterbacks are left? That makes sense. Let's see who they play week 5. Ooh, that might be a good game. That could be the game. We definitely don't want that. Who's Tampa play? Playing the Falcons. That could be a hit or miss. It is an NFC South game. Who's Tennessee play? Tennessee's playing. Where's Tennessee? Are they on a bye week that week? No way. They are. Okay, so we definitely don't want Tennessee as quarterback. Could go with Carolina. Or do I take Michael Penix as potential trade bait? God, I'm leaning towards it. I've only got Trey Walker. That's a good pick, honestly. Kyle, I don't know if he's actually here or not. I'm going to give him like 60 seconds and then I'll think about auto picking like I did with Pax Fan. He's been here for most of it. There he is. Yes, he's coming back. He knows. He knows. He's smart about this. He leaves when he can and comes back. There's a lot. Man, how do I round out this roster? I'm good on my bye weeks. I don't have to worry about that. Oh, Patrick Surtain. I was thinking about it. I was thinking about him so hard. And then Jonathan Brooks, the linebacker from Miami. That's a solid one, too. Or Jordan Brooks, my apologies. I feel like he came from somewhere. Baker Mayfield comes off the board to Sydney. God, I was thinking about that one, too. Kyle coming with that me. Is that a bunch of PS2s? Again, Kyle's smart. Just go to sleep. Just go to sleep. I'm going to auto pick. Jahan Dotson. That's not a bad pick, actually, though. Cahill up next. I don't see the green dot. I'm so sorry. I'm going to give it 60 seconds and then I'll. I know. We're so close. We're so close, Tig. 49ers media is up. Catton's up. Auto picks. There's a lot of guys I like here. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm so sorry. I don't know what to pick. I need a pick, though. Taking Cameron Curl, LA, the free agent acquisition from Washington. Joe Stevens on the clock now. We're so close to finishing this draft. So close. I'll give Joe a few seconds here, see if he gets in there. I've got one pick left in this draft. Where do I go? Do I get my backup quarterback? Do I grab some extra depth at some positions? There are some good running backs I'm still looking at that I really do like. Excuse me. Oh, this is going to be rough. This is going to be so rough. Chimera up next. Took Brisker, the defensive back, out of Chicago. That works because he didn't select a defensive back. So I'm glad it selected a good pick for him. Chimera on the clock next. We're almost done. Hang in there, guys. Just hang in there. Chimera and Sponge are there, so they're making their picks. I feel like half the guys are like, I'll just take my chance. Will you stay live after discuss the teams? I will discuss the teams actually a little bit after the stream, so I will do that, by the way. Kind of talk about the teams, maybe preview a little bit of the week 1 matchups. I like the Jacob Cowing pick, by the way. That's a great pick, 49er Media. I've been a huge Jacob Cowing fan. He was one of the guys featured on my draft special. He has, especially if the Ayuk thing didn't work out, Cowing's potential on that team was definitely not getting and Devine says he's there, so I'm letting him he's making the pick. He's just probably taking a minute. 30 seconds left, Chimera. I'll get that link up here in just a moment here. And Divine's Chimera is going to run out of time here.
Oh, come on, dude.
And Quentin Williams out of New York. That's not bad. Fairbairn, the Houston kicker. Not bad, Spongy. Not bad. I bet you I took the kicker that you probably wanted after your original one got taken. To go Rick on the clock, I'm going to give him a minute here. And then, of course, we'll move. But if he's not there in just a minute, I feel like he was there for the Wagner and Bynum pick, but maybe he wasn't. I totally misspelled that. Force the pick. Aaron Rodgers. CP ought to pick Marshawn Lloyd. Tiggs on the clock, and he is here. I appreciate y'all, like I said, for coming to join. Honestly, getting all 14 people in here was pretty rough. And like I said, every Thursday we're going to be having a fantasy football show, setting lineups and taking questions, and really just trying to help everyone that is, playing fantasy football this year. And hopefully, if I help you, you'll come help me, right? That's how it's got to work. Because I don't expect y'all to come in and do nothing for me. You know what I'm saying? That is pretty cool. I did not realize you could do that before. So all these emojis you see right here under the bar and under the picks, you can actually react to the picks that people are making and say shit pick, funny pick, love the pick, or you're mad about the pick. That's actually really cool. I did not realize that before. That's a super cool feature from Sleeper. Definitely something I'll promote a little more in the next year's draft. And we've got the auto picks in here to go Rick on now. He is there, so I did force his pick last pick. I'm sorry. Yeah, 80 Packers fans with us. That is a long draft. Sponge on the clock here. Brendan Rice, that's a great pick, Sponge, by the way, for the Chargers. Logan Wilson going to Chimera next. Joe Stevens, I don't think he's here anymore. I'm going to let CPU auto pick. He got a tight end. It's my pick. I got to take a backup quarterback. I think I'm going to take Michael Penix with the last pick. But we're almost done. There's like 4 picks left in the draft. There's the code, guys, by the way, to join StreamYard if you want to come in and discuss this draft. Once we finish up here, I'll be right back and blow my nose. All right. And Cahill gonna let CPU auto pick Packers fan. I think he was there. Didn't he just comment? Yeah, he was just there. So Josh Downs coming off the board. But we're almost done. Sydney Miller's making her last pick, and then Kyle will come on the board with the final pick of the draft. Kyle Kitzman. If you didn't see, we were doing an interview with him like, what was it, Tuesday, a week or two ago. My PC bricked up and cut everything off. So we had to cut the interview short, but really good interview. Really good guy. I really enjoyed the questions that he brought, and the question. Just looking at the team from an outside's perspective a little bit. Gabe Davis coming off the board there to Sydney. Former Buffalo Bill, now down there in Jacksonville. High upside. I like the Josh Downs pick by the Packers fan too. Solid. And final pick. And I see Sponge coming in here. Let me add him into the stage. What up, Sponge?
Hey!
Ooh, man, that was loud.
And the last pick is the
Detroit
Lions defense.
Congratulations to everyone and their drafts.
Oh man,
Was Charles and County? I know. I'm excited. I got to go look at everything and really, break it down a little bit.
I only picked up Fairbairn for trade bait to trade for Jake Bates.
Who did you pick up? I'm sorry, for trade bait.
Fairbairn to trade for Jake Bates.
Ooh, you think she'll take that trade?
I don't know because Fairbairn, I'd say, is the more experienced kicker. So I was hoping maybe she would take a bite on it. But before that, I was thinking of taking Jake Moody for trade bait for Bates. But it got auto-picked. The pick after yours when you drafted a kicker.
I know. I can force that a little bit. Let's see here, though.
The only spot that's weak on my team is the second running back position.
I know. I've got a few holes. I've got to move Jonathan Brooks to the IR pretty quickly here, and then I'm going to go find a guy in free agency.
I might pick up a running back in free agency because I only have one guy who's or technically I have two. Does Tyrone Tracy count as an IR guy?
Usually if they're as long as are given the designation of actually out, I'm pretty sure IR lets you move
Both
them even if it's
Tyrone, Tracy, and Durant Bland will go in the IR for me, and I will be picking up 2 more players.
solid. Honestly, if you can get Tyrone stashed on the IR for a minute until, like I said, I think he's going to by the end of the year win that job. Kenny says USC just beat LSU 27-20. That's wild.
I'm hoping, well, first that Sydney accepts my trade.
Better get on that right now.
Yep.
That's what I'm going to do. That's the first thing I'm going to do when I get out of here.
Yep. Kenny's right. USC beat LSU. What's up, guys?
What up? What up? So who you playing week 1, Sponge? Who you got first on the where's your team? So you're playing Derry. Oh, you're playing the guy that literally just trolled us, didn't he, a little bit? The 3 tight ends and like 3 kickers.
What happened? That happened in my other draft earlier. It's a draft with like my uncle and his cousins and stuff. And so my uncle, he didn't reinstall the app because this was a league from a year ago that we were all already in. So they ran it back for another year. So he wasn't installed into the app, and it drafted him 6 straight receivers in the first 6 rounds.
God, that's wild. Like, I did like the Ben Sennett pick,
But
though.
the way that it worked out for him, it worked out pretty well because even though he's not installed in the app, he could still win a few games, which is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But with my team, if I look at it, my running back core is very dim. Pacheco, Brown, and Tyrone Tracy.
Do you have any other running backs, or is that your only 3?
Those are my 3 running backs.
Man, yeah. I needed running back, too.
I gotta pick one up in free agency.
I'm actually about to go look at the free agent.
But the best one available is Kendrick Miller. Oh, there are 2 guys in free agency, and I don't mind saying this for y'all. Roman Wilson could be a really good pickup, and so could Trey Hendrickson.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I agree with that.
Hold on, I'm actually working on something real quick. Hold on, I have to move some guys down.
You can nickname your players. That's hilarious. I didn't know that. You can literally nickname every player on your team.
Wait, how do I
I'm not sure how to move someone to IR yet. I'm trying to actually figure that out live right now.
Right now.
Okay, I found out. You got to go down, click on the IR spot, and then it'll give you an option to move players if they are eligible to, and then move them to the.
This is making me mad. Hold on, maybe I need to reset the app. That's what I'm thinking. It needs to, because it did kick me out of the draft one time, but good thing I had players queued up.
For real on that. Ooh,
Like,
Dowdle's on the market.
Like with the last 4 rounds, I had all my guys queued up. But when she took Jake Bates, bro, that really made me so mad, and I had to go out and find a new kicker. And then I was like, okay, Jake Moody, and then somebody after you took him, and then I said, okay, well, which kicker am I going to draft now? I need a kicker that I can actually trade for Jake Bates. I was stressing out in that moment. I can't lie.
I fucking bet, my guy. John, were you in this draft?
No, I was watching you guys.
Okay, I'm gonna be honest, my guy. I am gonna remove you just for that reason. Just I'm trying to get the people that are in here, and then I'm getting off for the night.
All right, have a good night, buddy. I didn't interrupt your party.
No, you're fine. You're fine. 49er, man. How do you feel about your team?
Okay. I mean, I like a few of my players, to be honest, but
I'm shocked you didn't.
Jason kept sniping all my guys that I was
shocked you
looking.
didn't pick up Demetrius Flanagan Fouls.
Didn't.
I mean, there's a lot of really good players to potentially choose and stuff like that.
I need to go trade a tight end from that team that got 5 tight ends or whatever.
What's funny is that's who's Spongy playing in week 1. He's playing
Should have the
Darion
easy dub.
Doggett.
I should have the easy dub.
Yeah, you're projected to beat him by 30 points right now.
You know, so there are a few guys. I'll do this early. There are a few guys here on the available in free agency that could be really good if you're looking for a guy. So 2 wide receivers, at least that I'm looking at right now, Josh Palmer
Mm-hmm.
and Wan'Dale Robinson.
You think Wan'Dale's going to do good there in New York?
No.
Demario Douglas is also available, and Michael Wilson.
Yeah, you got Brandon Cooks is not bad down in Dallas, honestly. The fact that Brandon Cooks is still out there is pretty shocking to me.
And Dontavian Wicks.
Mooney, if you're looking for a real flex wide receiver 3, he was a deep guy in Chicago, never got any touches, but now in Atlanta,
he
could.
There's no way.
It could be like him and Drake London.
Exactly. Kyle Pitts hopefully going to get involved in the offense a little bit.
Yeah, dude, I hate drafting tight end in fantasy. That is the position I just despise for some reason.
Have you been burned?
Did somebody already?
No, I just don't like going tight ends.
Did somebody already pick up Trey Hendrickson?
Oh, I feel like someone had to have. Let's see. Trey. Can I do this? All players. Yep, I can do it. Hold on.
Yeah, I got a partial Eagles themed team with Saquon and
Swift. Yeah.
I don't see him. I guess someone had to have snatched him.
No, nobody snatched him. Actually,
I'm gonna need.
He's out there still
so badly.
I'm about to say I want to go look at your team. Let's take a look here. Where you at?
It's funny how Jason was sniping all my guys, and I'm playing him week 1.
That is rough.
And
I see it. That's a good move. You are predicted to lose by almost 20 points. Let's see.
I have the 62% chance to win.
Only 62?
62% over 38%.
Ooh, and see, I was saying Captain had a pretty good team to start this draft.
Here's my problem, and I might just use Trey Hendrickson as trade bait, but I have 2 defensive linemen on my bench.
Ooh, you got to do some work.
And I got to trade one of them for a running back that I can possibly use because Tyrone Tracy can't be on the IR.
I'm going to be honest. I don't see how you're projected to lose by so many points here on this. Through 49er. I really don't see it. Yeah, he's projected to lose by almost 20 points. I don't see it.
Play.
Okay, but the thing is, if I got a tight end, I would easily be and there was a good tight end, I'd easily be projected to have 10 or 12 points, and then I
like the Jatavion Sanders pick. Honestly, I think he's got huge upside, especially till Jonathan Brooks came back. Him and I play tight end, man. Tight end is a quarterback's best friend.
Yeah, that's true.
My problem. I'm gonna have to figure out who I'm starting at quarterback because if I'm looking at the projected points scored by these players, Justin Herbert, who's projected to be my starter, is only supposed to score 16.9 points. And Jaden Daniels is projected to score 17.08. So I'm going to have to figure out who I want to start there.
I don't think I have a backup quarterback, so I'm going to have to figure that out.
Oh, yeah, same. I didn't pick up a backup quarterback.
49 are 2 really good options for you. Taysom Hill is a tight end quarterback. He got taken a lot of fantasy leagues. He's available right now in the free agent.
My dad was telling me about that and how he's going to be a glitch this year.
And that's what a lot of people think in fantasy. I was thinking about it. You also have Hayden Hurst at the LA Chargers. Hurst was the former first-round pick of the Ravens. He's bounced around. I liked him in Cincinnati. I liked him in Carolina.
Always liked Hurst. When I play Madden, I've always liked to pick up Hurst if I don't
He's a
have
great player.
Because
he's listed as tight end 1 in LA too. So he's got tight end number 1 potential.
Taysom Hill on my bench.
Yeah, that's a solid pickup right there. Like Jaleel's what, third technically on the depth chart, but he is like the undrafted rookie free agent that made it, right?
Jaleel McLaughlin.
Yeah.
I
don't even know.
I don't know. I saw
think so.
somewhere they were saying to pick him up, but I like. Yeah,
They were. He's RB2.
Media. If I pick up Demetrius Flanagan-Fowles, would you perhaps trade?
No.
Good try, Sponge.
Dude, I took Cowling at least because that's the guy I really like. So
I feel so good.
Wait. You said you're an Arizona fan, right?
Yeah, for college.
What about Fafita and that McMillan kid?
Dude, I know, dude. Freaking McMillan's gonna be a baller, bro. Dude, he got 4 touchdowns.
McMillan will be my number 1 pick in fantasy next year. I'm already predicting it because I took Marvin Harrison in my first round this year.
Oh, who did Mr. Captain Niner just
he put Brock on the trade block.
Okay. Let me send him a proposal.
That's for you.
Let me send him a proposal.
You know what? I lied. I did take a backup quarterback. I took Penix.
I gotta find out who's got Cousins. Though.
That's more of a third string quarterback.
I'm like really bad at trades.
I took Penix 100% as if anything happens to Cousins. I guess I'm hoping he's a starter on someone's team, to be 100% honest with you.
Who are a few guys that I'm looking at on the defensive line side?
Who?
Josh Sweat could be a really good pickup.
He could be.
And we still got Cam Hayward out there.
Let's see if he actually sees my trade request. He's probably going to be like, nope.
And another guy I really think is going to break out this year, especially because it's his contract year. And especially with Vic Fangio, Milton Williams.
He's going to be a lot different this year.
He's going to be really good.
Man, the Michael Penix trade.
I might actually remove Aziz for my boy.
Ooh. I mean, I feel actually like pretty solid about.
I feel like my team's really young.
Let's see who's on the.
But I had to pick up some vets. Like hopefully with Harbaugh, hopefully Herbert improves.
Maybe I'll just keep.
And I really wanted to pair up Herbert with Ladd McConkey, but Ladd got taken, and then I said, "Oh, they have another rookie receiver down in LA for the Chargers, and that's Brendan Rice, who could play this year, could he?"
I'm sorry, who?
Brendan Rice.
Oh yeah, he absolutely could play some stats.
I sent my trade request, and he, Captain Niner, declined it.
What did you say? What did you offer him?
Dude, I don't even know, but I freaking sent it like Romeo Dobbs and freaking Charbonnet or some shit.
I mean,
Charbonnet. I was looking at Charbonnet.
I'd have thought about taking that trade. I'd have thought about it maybe, depending on his. I mean, if he's offering Brock, he's got to have a plan. Like,
he's in a chat. Let's see.
Oh, that's gonna be good.
I'm just gonna give him the sad emojis real quick.
All right, I'll be trading for Jake Bates here, people.
You're gonna be trading for. Do you think she'll do it?
The trade proposal is Kyami Fairbairn for Jake Bates. Here's hoping she accepts it, because Kyami Fairbairn can drill some long field goals.
He can.
And
I'm really thinking of a Charger kicker.
Dude, I need to figure out how to get one of those dudes tight ends, though.
Dicker can't kick that far, but he's a really good kicker. I really like him.
The thing is this kicker also, if your kicker misses from under 39 yards, you're penalized a point.
Hey, that's why I got Greg the leg for a reason.
Under the helmet, what's your team? Do y'all know what team he is?
Tig.
Tig.
Tig for the win.
Let's see. I don't know if that's your last pick. I don't know if Chandler was your last pick or. I feel like you got a
here's
solid
the
team.
thing. If I'm stuck with Fairbairn, I'm fine with that because he can drill long field goals. But I have more faith in Jake Bates, especially with Michael Badley going down. And
Yeah, I don't mind that I freaking got Greg the leg in like the very end of the draft.
Yeah, like
Well,
honestly, he was the one I was thinking about taking.
If Sydney is online,
I really was going to take Greg Zerline. Honestly, I had him. I was looking at him, and then I decided last second to make the pick to the LA Chargers kicker.
I'm glad you like the Kyle Hamilton pick, though.
Oh God, I was so mad about that one.
Yo, I'm projected to be the number 4 seed.
Ooh.
Wait, where do we check that?
It shows
but
that.
Also, hold on, no, I might be wrong, but it says number 4 next to my name. But it also says
that just might be your waiver wire.
That
yeah, it might be for the waiver wire.
That's probably the waiver wire.
Because it says 9, 10 for me, and then for Captain Niner it's 9. I don't know. If
so these are all the people who were projected to win.
I'm trying to figure out how to find all that. I'm still new to Sleeper myself.
Oh, Sydney accepted my chat request.
Oh, she's going. Oh, you gonna try?
What would you give up from my team for like?
By the way, Tig, your last pick was Tyler Bass, the kicker out of Buffalo.
Dude, I was about to take him, and then I was like, "God damn it!"
And he was another one I was eyeballing.
I was about to take Jake Moody.
I wanted my boy Tucker. That's who
then I was like,
Tucker got taken so early, and so did Jake Elliott. I was really thinking about taking Jake Elliott.
What would you think you would give from my team for Mark Andrews? Like, because I really need to get a tight end from that one dude.
Let's see. That's gonna be. By the way, again, I love the Cowing pick. Cowing is a target monster.
Dude, he went to my college, so like,
yeah, and that's what I was like.
Just pick him up.
At Arizona, he had a target rate. He never had a target rate under 25%. Meaning, out of every single play, 1 out of 4 went to him.
Doesn't he have a hand problem?
They said no. It's not as big as people think.
Quarterback play.
Yeah,
Glad you got that Taysom Hill pick. That could pay dividends. Man, what would you trade for Andrews? All right, first, actually, before we look at what you're on your team, we got to look at his team and see if he's actually trying to be competitive.
Because he has the 5 tight ends he draft.
Well, we don't know if he's trying to be competitive because he only made 1 draft pick, people.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is this. He's got Kittle, Andrews, and Kelsey.
Yeah, exactly.
He would probably trade Andrews. I'm going to be honest. Out of those 3, who's,
he's technically got Hawkinson too, but Hawkinson, I think,
Hawkinson's on the IR.
It just never made sense for
the thing is, I don't want Kittle because I just don't want to deal with another Niner because I kind of hate having too many Niners on my team. So
I think Jalen Carter's also going to break out this year. So when I saw him ranked at 202 and I saw him in like the 3rd to last round, I said, I already have the Eagles defense. Now I'm going with Jalen Carter. And I once I saw Deron Bland up there too, I was kind of scared because you were talking about him on your show when you were looking at DBs. And I was like, oh, Darwin's actually not looking into this. All he saw was IR. And he figured out for the year. I
really did think he had a more serious injury. What's his injury?
6 to 8 weeks.
I mean, it's not terrible.
Which I might if it doesn't work out, I'm just gonna release him.
Exactly. There's always going to be somebody.
And nobody's going to pick him up because he's injured. But if it does work out in the trade, and it's not the trade deadline, trade bait.
Yep. So if he does look for a trade for tight end, he definitely needs running back. Is probably like my number 1 prio on his board. I mean, Raheem and Chubbard is what I would dangle early.
That's Jason's team, though.
Oh, I'm on the wrong team. Oops. Oh, you're right. I'm so sorry.
No, you good.
So running backs early. What could we dangle at him? Do you have? If Kyron goes down, Corum's value is going to skyrocket. Like I like the
That's
Corum.
true.
Same thing with
I was
Charbonnet
thinking
and
of
Walker.
drafting Corum. Once somebody took my other running back off the board, I was like, wait, Corum.
Dude, I was looking for a running back, and then I was just like, let me just take Charbonnet.
Wait,
I definitely would take Charbonnet Dobbs over it.
Wasn't it Kyle Pitts who took Kyron Williams in like the second or third round?
He took him pretty high.
Dude, I was so mad because I had another draft and then I took him, and then like a week later or something, I hear the news about the Rams wanting to use him as a kick returner,
a punt returner, actually.
or a punt returner. I was like, gosh, damn it.
Ooh, 80 Packers said he's up for some trades. I don't even know if he's got. I know I got to start looking at my team, see if there's anything I want to trade.
Team.
Right, 80 the Packers fans team is Anthony Richardson is his starting quarterback. Not going to work out well. I'm going to be brutally honest.
Not a big fan of his tight ends, so I'm not going to.
His two running backs.
I mean, dude, man, taking 4 tight ends really hurt the draft.
All right.
And 3 kickers.
The Packers fans' 2 running backs are Mixon and Josh Jacobs. His 2 receivers are Jefferson and Diggs and Chris Godwin. And then Evan Ingram's his tight end. His kicker is Younghoe Koo. Defense, Titans defense. Aiden Hutchinson, his defensive lineman. Quincy Williams, his linebacker. Brian Branch is his DB. His bench, Trevor Lawrence, Jahan Dotson, who I really like this year. Josh Downs. The Bucks defense, Latu, and Quay Walker.
Does anyone know who Darion Doggett was, by chance?
I think that's one of Carcast's friends.
I was going to say, it might be one of those ones. If he doesn't respond to any trade offers, I really might consider disbanding his entire team. Yeah, and putting them all to free agency. I really
is it the guy who drafted all tight ends or whatever?
Yeah, he took 4 tight ends and 3 kickers.
If he does get disbanded, I am going on the waiver wire and picking up a tight end.
And it would really make the waiver wire and make the rest of the league more competitive.
Before you think about doing that, I would ask if anybody else would like to join the league and take over that team.
I don't know if I can do that though.
I understand, but those people can also work on trades.
Yeah, like I said, I'll message him. I'll see if he responds to trade offers. But if after week 1 he's,
if this was like a money league,
that's a lot different. Money's a lot different.
That would be a lot different, and you would just disband the team. But the fact that this
actually, if he paid money, I wouldn't, because if he paid money to do it, that's his choice.
Like then you definitely wouldn't do it.
But if
he roster move,
someone added Deshaun Watson.
And
he's already making a move. Ooh.
I need to go pick up a quarterback, but this Jason guy just won't.
He might be trying to dangle Trevor Lawrence somewhere, because Lawrence is his backup QB. He's got 3 QBs on the roster now.
I thought about it myself. There's a couple quarterbacks out there. Sam Darnold, if he stays healthy, Bryce Young's not terrible. Gardner Minshew put up the same numbers as Trevor Lawrence. That's been the huge talking point, and so
in this draft, I really wanted to pick Bryce Young, but then I was like, no, but I don't want to start Jaden Daniels, because it was between Jaden Daniels and Herbert, and between Jaden Daniels and Bryce Young, and I was. If somebody picks up Bryce Young and Herbert doesn't do well, I'll dangle Herbert in a trade for Bryce Young.
All right, I have made a roster move.
Ooh, Will Levis and Brian Burns. Ooh, I'm thinking about dropping Penix, honestly, for Gardner Minshew.
That wouldn't be bad. If Gardner's your backup.
He plays against the Broncos during that bye week as well. So
I would.
Let's see if there's any other players I can
Penix won't play.
The thing is this: I liked his value as a trade option, but I just have looked through the rosters, and even the team that has Kirk Cousins, Kirk's the backup. he's the bye week guy for them.
Because if this was a dynasty league, because isn't dynasty like multiple years?
You can with dynasty, if I'm not mistaken, you designate certain players that don't go back to the draft. Like you get like 2
it's
to
like
3
a keeper
players.
league. It's a keeper league. So dude, I should tell you guys my keeper league team because I did a draft with like some friends and
see with my usually young team, I would excel in a keeper league just because I'd have all the young players.
Yeah, so dude, I literally kept Sam Laporta, St. Brown, and Garrett Wilson as my 3.
Ooh.
And then now my team is Jaden Daniels.
You only get to keep 3?
Yeah, we said ours is 3.
That's a good amount, I feel like.
But basically, you got Jaden Daniels, Davon Achane, Dave Montgomery, St. Brown, Garrett Wilson, Puka Nacua. So I'm like, just stacked a receiver.
Oh, see, that's with me last year. I had Garrett Wilson, Puka, and DJ Moore, and they carried my fantasy team.
Yeah, and then I've gotten like Stafford, Corum, Mostert, Zach Moss, Xavier Worthy.
People
I got
really
the Jets
down.
and Texans defense.
I really like Worthy's
down
potential.
on Herbert right now. I'm shocked by that.
I am a little shocked on this too.
Who did they say? Because he's hurt, and also like who's he throwing to? You know what I mean?
But like,
so they have last year's first round pick who didn't work out that well, Quentin Johnson. He was the worst rookie out of all the first round wide receivers last year. Ladd McConkey, sneak value actually there.
I love Ladd McConkey.
And then Jaden Hurst gives them a number 1 tight end.
Mm-hmm.
Dude throws some blocks.
And Brendan Rice will come in at some point, be the
that's
the
who
wide
I think,
receiver 2 or 3.
I know y'all feel a certain way about Sean McVay over there in the Bay Area, but I preach about this. I have a lot of respect for McVay, what he did last year. If I remember the stat correctly, he entered his 90-man training camp roster with 33 out of the 90 being rookies. To be able what he did last year was incredible.
Yeah, they had them and the Seahawks have been drafting actually kind of fairly well.
I took the Seahawks on one of my other fantasy leagues because that defense is going to be a lot different. I remember Mike McDonald. I got the insider information on that one.
That's true. Fair enough.
But, it might take another year of draft picks. But they took Byron Murphy in the first round, the defensive tackle out of Texas.
I was so mad when they took him.
That's Matabike. That's Matabike in that defense. 100%. He might be quicker than
they got the Rams have Fisk and Verse.
Mm-hmm.
By the way,
took Tyrell Dodson from Buffalo, who's a rangy tackle.
Okay, but at least the nice thing is the Niners stole someone from Florida State, so the Rams couldn't have everybody.
Are you talking about Ricardo Green?
Renardo Green, yeah.
Yep. Yeah, dude, he was one of my guys in my draft special. If I remember, hold on. I'm going to pull this up because I don't want to mistake it. I want to give you the actual stats on that young man because he has potential to be a lockdown corner, 100%.
Yeah, the only concern I have was he was a little too touchy in college.
Exactly. He had way too many penalties. He's got to clean up some of those penalties a little bit. But if he does...
The NFL, I feel with NFL coaching, that'll change.
Oh, yeah, no, for sure.
I critique maybe a little too hard. I come down hard on coaches because I feel like it's their job to really develop these guys, and when they don't, I put a lot on the coach. Yeah, Renardo, 13th overall cornerback, 8th in coverage, tied for 4th in pass breakups allowed. He was tied with Darian Arnold, the first round pick out of Alabama. Tied for 5th overall man coverage snaps. He played the 3rd most man coverage percentage, 2 snaps. He was 1st in man coverage grade, tied for 1st in man I'm not sure what that is, FI. 4th, but he was 4th in penalties, but he was tied up for 1st in pass breakups. So like you said, he could clean up the hands a little bit.
Yeah.
Ooh. He's going to be Lenore's takeover if he leaves in free agency, 100%.
No,
Ward's going to be gone, so...
Oh, yeah, Ward, my apologies.
But yeah, no, Lenore might also be gone, which would be...
That'd be rough.
Anything about Quignon or Cooper DeJean?
I did not cover either of them. Kenyon, I expected to be a first-round pick. My draft special only focuses on guys I expect to be third-round picks and later because that's where I feel like you truly... as a GM shine if you can find those guys. And like I said, my draft special last year, Devon Kane, I predicted. Keaton Mitchell, I predicted.
Dude,
like
our
Tajay
third round
predicted.
picks,
Chase Brown predicted. All of my
Our
running backs for my
third
last
round
draft special are
picks are
starters.
so bad. Yeah, our third round picks have been so
During
bad.
I wasn't a
the
huge fan of Law
fantasy
too.
during the
Yeah,
fantasy
Law
draft
2, then
today,
freaking like Danny Gray, who the Eagles have
Mm-hmm.
who apparently worked out.
Mm-hmm. Like
oh, of course
I know,
we
hire
have.
me.
And then obviously they love our stashes because they also used to have Trey Sermon, TDP.
All right, TDP's still on the team and he's actually playing well, but Trey Sermon is on the Colts now.
Yeah, no, I know, but like I remember the Eagles also I think picked him up.
When TDP got released, I was like, okay, we released him. Then I saw
think
we got
the
him back,
Seahawks
and
got
then
a guy I like too.
And then I started to look at TDB's training camp, and he did really well this year.
The thing is,
Hopefully-
you'll have to see how he actually does in games because that's what the Niners are saying. Oh, he looks good in training camp.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's the difference. Like, but now he's on a different team, and we didn't really say anything about his practice last year when he was on the team. So.
Spongy, how you feeling about that center play? Are you all comfortable with that center? You took him a second round, what, like a year or two ago?
Yeah,
Jurgens.
Yeah, Jurgens, and see, that's something we're gonna have to. Jurgens was really good last year at right guard, and coming into this offseason, I was like, okay. He was
Y'all
able
have
to
Steen coming back from injury at right guard too, right?
No, Steen is not starting. It's Mekhi Becton starting at right guard.
Yes. The former left tackle.
Oh, that's an
interesting
one.
Left tackle is starting at right guard.
That's that was a great signing. He stays healthy.
Jeff Stoutland has found a way to fix Mekhi Becton.
He's got potential, man. Like when he's healthy and he's playing his best ball, he is one of the better players on the line in this league. Like there's a lot of left tackle guys that were a little injury prone, had some issues, but by the way, Seahawks got Connor Williams from Miami. If he returns to anything, like that's a top 5 center.
Yeah. Dude, I love our Dominic Pooney pick.
This is my team and my other fantasy
later, John Jay. Have a good night, my boy. I'm excited about this league. Let's hear it.
This is my team. Crap, I can't tell you the draft. All right, well, this is my team. At quarterback, I have Josh Allen.
Okay.
My running back, my 2 running backs, Isaiah Pacheco and Ramondre Stevenson.
I don't have faith in Pacheco. Am I crazy for that, guys? Let me know. Am I crazy? I don't have a lot of faith in Pacheco.
I'm not as high, I feel like, as they have him as the ADP,
my two
but
starting receivers are Tyreek Hill and Nico Collins.
Okay, solid.
My tight end is Trey McBride.
Mm-hmm. And that's another guy I can't buy. I can't buy into the Arizona offense until Kyler Murray doesn't have it in his contract to watch film.
My flex guy is Terry McLaurin. He was available late in
the team though.
Late in the draft. My kicker is Cameron Dicker.
You took that's funny.
The guy who you have at kicker.
Yeah.
All right, my defense. You're gonna like this. The Ravens defense.
Hey, we set records last year, and this defense can be even better than last year.
And my bench is Dak Prescott.
Great back.
Tony Pollard.
Solid.
Chase Brown.
Love that you took him this one. Solid.
And Khalil Shakir, who was there just for Josh Allen.
Yep, he's expected to be the main slot guy there in Buffalo, to be 100% honest. They need him to step up. They want him to step up. They expect him to.
He played well in some games.
He put like 600, 700 yards last year, if I'm not mistaken. He was pretty good. Who took Coleman in our draft? That's actually something I want to know. Someone had.
Oh, hold on. I can check.
Dude, every time I've wanted to take Coleman, he just gets sniped.
Joe Stevens got him.
Because I've been trying to take him in so many leagues, and every time
it was somebody who the first person took Vlad McConkey, and then Joe took
He's going to get so many just targets and potential to go get that ball.
You know who I was thinking of taking, or at least putting on my radar. I actually put him on my radar, thinking of possibly for an IR guy, Keaton Mitchell.
And
but
he's on the pup.
But then I saw, okay, even if he does come back, he could
He's
still
RB3.
be behind Justice Hill and Derrick Henry.
And the way Harbaugh respects veterans, he won't give Keaton. The only reason he gave Keaton a shot last year is because me and a bunch of other Raven fans were screaming. So after Keaton broke out, he gave the next game, he only gave Keaton like 2 carries. And Raven flock went fucking nuts on him because we lost the game too. And it was bull.
In that case, I was like, he could outbeat Justice Hill if he comes back to the right form he was from last year. And I'm like, okay, it's fine if he's behind Derrick Henry because it's Derrick freaking Henry.
God, I was so mad when Captain took him. I started looking at it, and I tried to stop myself, but I'd already on my screen, like, hovered over him, looked at it. I was like, and as soon as I did it, I looked who was picking before me. I was like, fuck.
I wasn't even looking at your screen because for me, it was delayed about a good 5 seconds.
Oh, man. I think it was Captain that took him, though, wasn't it? Yeah, Captain took him. And I knew
he took who?
Derrick Henry. One pick before me.
Stream snipe, but I had to be a little late with the stream snipes.
See, at least like your pick was so far off, it almost did. Captain was right before me, and as soon as I was like, man, I know, like, I want this guy, I started looking up, and I was like, shit, Levi, don't say it out loud. Like
I said, God damn it in my head like 3-4 times. Every time Captain Niner would just steal my gun.
Rate this 10-man PPR pick to Hurts, Pacheco, Jones, Lamb, London McBride, Debo, Justin Tuck, Chiefs D, Montgomery, Mozart. Ooh, that's a strong team. That's a strong team for a 10-man league.
I like Hurts, even though I don't like Pacheco as much. That's fine. Jones
Mozart put up 20 touchdowns last year, and Devon's got to stay healthy.
I like that combination of like Lamb, London, Debo, and then McBride.
Oh, I know, right? Like and then D-Hop's got huge potential for a red zone guy too.
David and Njoku, he's hurt right now, but he was really good last year.
And he played in the Ravens game like after the firework incident with like half his face burnt off, and he still played. Like,
oh yeah, I remember seeing that.
Can you check what his injury is now? Like what his current injury is?
Cuppy says, I have a question. Is there a real chance Saquon is now part of the brotherly shove instead of Hurts? Direct snap to Barkley. That's directed at you, Sponge. You're a Philly fan.
That's a good question.
That's a great question.
I feel like we would have heard something in training camp, but maybe they're waiting.
I mean, it's one of those ones I wouldn't give any competitive advantage away.
Yeah, just so nobody can see. But I haven't even seen us run the regular tush push in practice. So
a lot of quarterbacks say that aren't on the Eagles that they don't like that sneak because they take some hits and dirty shots, a little ankle pulling, stuff like that down.
I think a lot of they might have tested it out once in practice, and it might have not worked out because a big part of the tush push was Jason Kelce, and
it really was.
He really kept you, in good shape.
And Cuppy, that's what a lot of teams like the Ravens and some of these other teams really do think, man. Like it was discussed a little bit last year, if I'm not mistaken. Some teams said, hey, if the tush push is so successful, you should, even if you bring up the backup quarterback and everybody knows it's coming, you should still be able to get it. So why not bring in a backup quarterback or something?
What really worked out last year, but it might not anymore.
What's that?
The fake tush push where we sent DeAndre Swift, and it was kind of like a running back, the throw to the running back. It was like not a screen pass.
Yeah.
Kind of,
like,
what
set
I'm
up
saying.
A little play action, like fake, essentially.
A little play action fake, and it got us a good amount of yardage.
I like the play.
Even if we pulled that out once or twice this year. Not in the same game, of course, like sporadically every 5 weeks, maybe.
I don't know who your team was, T Money, but our T Money, are you okay? Here we go. 10-man PPR: Mahomes, Jacob, Connor, CD, London, Kincaid, DK Worthy, bench of Ridley, Javonte Williams, JMO, and ooh, you cooked, my guy, bro.
That's
you
a nice
cooked.
bench with like Ridley. I like Worthy.
I think Chase Brown
As a
wins that running
starter.
back job before the end of the
Chase
year.
Brown's
100%.
I
solid.
noticed that you have 2 gamblers on your bench there, buddy.
Wait, who would that be? Ridley and Williams, huh?
I know it's really funny to see how the NFL responds to the gambling compared to like MLB, NBA, who really brought down the hammer a little bit.
They are very lenient with that, but the only problem.
How do y'all feel about that?
Well, it only happened once in the NBA, like the past 5 years or whatever, and that was a really big case because he bet the under, and he faked injuries and all that stuff, so it was very deserved. But and on the MLB side, these guys are betting the under, and that's the problem. With the NFL, what I've seen, these players aren't betting the under, but they're betting like college football games, and like their team's
starting
games when
Ridley or
they're
Worthy week
injured.
1.
Who does
would you
Ridley
start?
play? Who does Ridley play?
Ooh, hold on, let me double check.
Because I know it's Ravens Chiefs week 1.
Oh, dude, I'm so excited for that game.
Dude, I have to wait all the way till Monday night for our game.
I would say Ridley week 1, especially because of the matchup for Worthy. I don't think it'll be good for Worthy. I think Worthy will have an off first game.
Let me see,
especially
here.
playing against a good defense.
Yeah, I'd probably go Ridley just because it's probably going to take some time
But
for the.
I still have to see who the Jags.
Marlowe has been in the best shape of like his past few years. Now, I don't want Raven fans to get mad at me here. Hold on.
Who are the Jags playing week 1 though?
Pulling that up actually right now. By the way, Titans are playing Bears week 1, so it might not be a terrible pick to start Ridley over there. I believe he's over in Tennessee, right? And then Jags are playing Dolphins week 1.
I thought Ridley was still on the Jags. That's my bad.
Okay, the Titans.
He's on the Titans.
Is he on the Titans?
No,
I think he is.
I would start Ridley.
Yeah.
Is he over now? I have to double check.
Yeah, I'd still start Ridley over Worthy.
No, he is. I'm sorry. Yeah, okay, he is on the Tennessee Titans. I'm glad I'm not crazy. I love Calvin Ridley's route running, and against potentially playing the Dolphins week 1. Let me think here. Oh wait, no. Am I losing my mind? I'm sorry, the Bears. I'm losing my mind. Bears? Oh, I'd start Ridley. I would 100% start Ridley
I'm going
over
Ridley, and then come back to us week 2, and we can help you.
Yeah, week 2 definitely would reevaluate. He says, under the helmet says, Darwin, want to trade? Oh, did you offer me a trade? What you want to trade? Let me know. I'm always open to hear a trade offer too. Everyone knows that, man. I'm going to do what's best for the team. Hold on. We got to cue that one up. I'm going to do what's best for the team.
My trade still has not been looked at.
I mean, it is kind of lately. You got to give it some time, right?
Dude, most of my fantasy teams are so stacked.
But she accepted my message request.
Yeah, but I think probably.
She might. Did you at least say in the chat what you wanted to trade?
Me?
Yeah.
I did a 1-for-1.
I'll say she might be sleeping on it. I'm saying she because her picture was a female. I don't know if it's actually a she. We could all be getting
name was a female. Yeah, unless it was some.
I know she called me out for misspelling her name. It was pretty funny.
I couldn't tell if she was joking or if she was just like.
I don't know who half these people in the league are. I don't know where.
But
I don't know too many
I kind of
of the
like
people
it that way
either.
because you don't know them, so you can't have beefs with them, so they won't accept your trade.
And that's what I'm just trying to keep this fun, lighthearted. She's playing Packers fan. I'm looking at her team. So you're trying to get her kicker, you said?
Yeah, I'm trading her the better kicker.
See, and if she took her kicker early, she's got to be disagreeing with you on that. Let's see.
No,
does she not have a good linebacker? Her linebacker choice. Oh wait, no, hold on. She took 2 linebackers. Trayvon Walker out of Jacksonville and Okereke out of New York.
Oh, I did like that Okereke pick because
Yeah,
I was looking at that before I got Zaire Franklin.
And if Gus Edwards doesn't get the carries, JK might be the man over there. She took Jalen Phillips. She took 3 linebackers.
Was a guy who I was like, please nobody take him, please nobody take him, please nobody take him.
Who?
When I saw he was on the board because I was looking at DBs, he was like the second best DB available, and I was looking at all their stats, and Derwin James,
that was such a good pick.
had the best stats. I think he had let me see his stats, but he had like 134 tackles, I believe. Yeah, 125 tackles.
Yeah.
86 solo tackles, 7 passes defended. Oh, sorry, no, that was 2023. I want to see his stats real quick. Hold on.
You're fine. Guys, man, I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty excited. When I get off of here, I've got smoked brisket and freshly cut and fried fries and some honey cornbread from Michelin's Barbecue.
Yeah,
Your boy's gonna eat like a king.
125 tackles, 2 sacks. Wait.
I'm mad whoever took Kyle Hamilton. I am so legit mad about that.
That was me.
I'm so mad. What do you want? What do you want? When Theo Johnson breaks out in week 2.
Let me look at your team real quick.
I know the only other tight end I have is Theo Johnson, but I think with Darren Waller retiring in New York, that freaked out the Giants.
Your Poe, whatever.
Poetically speaking.
Yeah.
Our mascot is called Poe, if you don't know that, so that's the pun on the name.
That makes sense.
And of course, Edgar Allan Poe is from Baltimore as well. I thought it was clever. My girlfriend even liked it. I know. I don't have anything for you. I feel like I might have some wide receivers. I thought Matthew Judon was a great pick as well. Like, I think he's going to eat down in Atlanta. Cameron Curl, I'm just basically counting on tackles.
I don't know if I'd trade Hamilton, honestly.
I'm going to be honest. Let me look at your team again. I don't know if I would for anyone on my team. How much for Derrick Henry? Oh wait, no, I'm sorry, that's who you're playing against.
That's not me, bro.
I know you might need tight end, but I feel like weirdly you're gonna be fine with Sanders.
Who does Spongy have? Because I wonder if he'd want Saquon.
I know. Honestly, I feel like your team is pretty solid. Barring injuries, Pickens is going to be a red zone threat. Oh, the guy I haven't picked, he's still out there, and I really think he might. If there's an injury, mark my words here on this. If anything happens to Pat Freiermuth, is it? I know his last name's Washington.
Pat. Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Darnell Washington.
Thank you. He has been lighting up camp, mossing people.
And Anshul, heck no. To Saquon.
Freiermuth has not been able to stay healthy for years. I think Darnell might take that starting job by the end of the year. And with a 6'7", like 240 frame, I think he could be that guy.
Why do you not want Saquon? He's on your team.
I'm not going to take the risk on him.
Tiggs offer. Let's tell me to look for a trade. Let's see. Do you got anything I want? Ooh. But the question is, what do you want from me, Tig? You've got some. Oh, he took Fred Warner and Chris Jones. Those are good picks.
God damn. I didn't even notice when the defensive players honestly really left.
God, I waited too long, I feel like, on the defensive players.
Here's the thing. They're not. I'm looking at their projected points scored, they're not going to score that much.
And the thing is, I don't know if
that's what I'm
league,
seeing too.
I don't know if the league lowered it 100%. But like originally, sacks and interceptions were worth 6 points. Like they had defensive players like reigning in points. So some of the changes
you might have to fix that.
I did. I lowered that immediately. Me and Cahill talked a little about that. So if a defensive player gets a touchdown, though, 6 points. They worked hard for it. A sack is worth 2 points. A hit on a quarterback is worth 1. A blocked PAT is worth 3. An interception is worth 3. Fumble recovery and forced fumbles are worth 2. Tackles are worth 1. Assisted tackles are worth a half. You get 1 point for a pass defended. And then I have some extra bonuses like over 10 tackles, more than 2 sacks, more than 3 passes defended. And then, of course, extra bonuses. If they take a 50-yard interception or fumble return to the house, extra 3 points on that. I wanted them to be more of the tiebreakers and not like dramatically changing the league, was my goal for that.
That makes sense.
But
same thing with like the kickers.
Honestly, the more I look at my team, I don't even hate my team actually that much.
Your starting lineup is very solid. So, your starting lineup is really high potential. I love including your defensive individual players. Taysom Hill is going to give you a weird gadget. Will Levis is great. Blake Corum, a lot of people, Kyron's had some health issues. If he doesn't stay healthy, Corum could be that straight number 1 back.
Corum's been like the number 1 guy. Been trying to take in leagues and stuff.
Same. 3 of your players, Corum, Carbonate, Cowing, have the potential, God willing or forbid any injury, automatically become like RB1 wide receiver 1 potentials.
Levi, can you check Sydney's team real quick? Because I'm wondering if I should throw in Trey Hendrickson in the deal just to sweeten it up a little bit.
Her team name is Shitney.
Yeah.
She
changed her name a few times.
Let's see.
I was gonna be like, Jason needs to change his name if he trades Purdy.
Man, and I'm so mad. I wanted Jesse Bates. I was about to take Jesse Bates, and then she snagged Jesse Bates right before me, like 4 picks ahead.
Yeah, she has both Jake Bates and Jesse Bates.
That's hilarious, actually. Like now that you mention that, man, she's got such a solid team. Too many linebackers, though.
Like, what would it make a difference?
Walker gets actually classified. I noticed some linebackers, defensive linemen, get classified as either or. So that's actually a defensive lineman.
Yeah, no, because for example, Will Anderson, I could put in at linebacker if I wanted to.
You know who I almost picked, and I think he's still out there. Joey Bosa's considered a linebacker. And I thought about picking that.
The thing is, he's always so hurt, though.
Exactly.
But honestly, I might. He might be a risk though for me because the thing, it may be good to get him.
If we do a dynasty league next year, I'm already thinking about it. I don't know why.
What up, David?
If I get the first overall pick, you know who I'm taking if we do a dynasty league next year?
Who?
Travis Hunter.
Oh, I thought you were saying Tetaro McMillan.
You know what's crazy is if he plays both sides of the ball, he is absolutely got to be number 1 fantasy pick. Has to,
dude.
Especially in like this type of league.
I'm taking McMillan if I have a top like.
Ooh, Jalen McMillan out of Washington.
No.
Okay.
Tetaro McMillan, yeah.
Okay.
He put up.
Dude, if he continues how he played, if he scores even 2 touchdowns and just goes insane in the Big 12, he could win the Heisman.
I'm sorry, he's not winning the Heisman. He's gonna be top 3 in Heisman if he keeps this up. But if based off week 1, we're already putting Heisman's out there. Drew Aller played really well.
Who does he play for?
Drew Aller's the Penn State quarterback, and Cam Ward as well. Shedeur Sanders, Travis Hunter. Could all be
it's too early. I know.
Heisman. It's way too early. It is way too early, but like
I'm trying to think of a good fantasy team name now
you
that I
know
know.
what would be so
Ask ChatGPT, bro. That's what I did.
Yeah,
You
that's
know
what I'll probably do.
You know what would be so nasty next year if this would happen? Say Marvin Harrison has an off year this year,
Mhm.
and he falls in the draft.
I
next
think
year,
they're
and-
looking at quarterback hard in Arizona. Do you agree with that?
Oh, I think they would try and
No.
find like a.
Really?
I'd
I
say if next year, well, they already gave Kyler his extension.
True.
yeah,
True.
it would be tough.
And like they can't opt out of that, like the Giants can with Daniel Jones.
Yeah, the Dan Jones contract was genius. How they can get out of that after a while. Same thing with the Russell Wilson in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, but like especially in this class, if the Cardinals are bad again this year, I have them going for a guy like James Pierce Jr., the edge out of Tennessee, who and even if they don't go defense, they could like left tackle Will Campbell, LSU, Kelvin Banks Jr., the offensive tackle out of Texas. Or if they want to pair up and have like the nastiest wide receiver duo in the league, they could pick either Travis Hunter or Tyrone McMillan to be next to Marvin Harrison Jr. It's like,
they do have a really good young core over there. Trey McBride, Marvin Harrison. The defense always plays stout in Arizona. That's like, I feel like they almost have a tradition over there, kind of like us. They always play stout defense. Like,
they also have a defensive head coach.
Yep. 2025 is when they can move on from Kyler. After the 2025 season, his guaranteed money drops for 2026.
And they might not even get rid of him because if he finds a way to stay healthy the next few years, he is a good quarterback. He just needs to stay healthy.
It bothers me, the whole film study thing. If you get paid millions of dollars, like to play a game that any of us would love to.
They could also use him as a bridge guy for the next quarterback they bring in.
They could.
I know Dallas fans want a new quarterback to get drafted.
And they might be looking at it like a lot of people have them signing Parsons over Dak.
They should honestly do the Niners route in terms of trying to get a young quarterbacks, and that means you're able to stack up on paying other positions.
It's the one we saw with Matt Ryan and Joe Flacco. You bring in a new coach, a new quarterback, and you build around him for 5 years.
Yep.
This is a hot take. I think both Micah Parsons and Dak Prescott will both not be on the Cowboys after next year.
Ooh.
I think they'll only find
That'd be terrible.
With CeeDee Lamb. I think Jerry Jones is getting way too greedy, and even if he offers a guy like Micah Parsons a contract, I think Micah Parsons will be gone. And I don't think they have enough money for what Dak Prescott wants.
Dak's got them by the balls with his contract.
Dude, I don't know how we're going to do our contract for Purdy.
If they don't finish, if I remember correctly, if they don't get the extension done by the deadline this year, the dead money that's going to kick in for Dak will cripple that team for 2 years.
And
also, the sad thing is that they can't even tag Dak in
because of his contract.
Yeah, because of his contract. It has some clauses.
I would.
Smart man.
If they want to do a whole youth movement down there in Dallas, what I think would be best for them, and getting rid of, Dak Prescott would be a good thing.
A lot of the heavy favoritism as they move on from Dak and they take Shador.
Yeah, that's what I've been seeing from rookie or Cowboys. But the thing is, they're gonna have to tank, bro.
He'll try to trade the house.
Or trade the house, and that's where they could trade like a Dak Prescott in the draft for
it would be rough. Like I said, no matter what, they're gonna have to go. I feel like to the rookie quarterback thing because Dak's probably not gonna sign. He looked at Kirk Cousins making money, and he says, "I'm better than Kirk."
Wait, I got this question: is Dak gonna hold out? Because if he holds out, their quarterback is Trey Lance, and if Trey Lance is their quarterback, they're most definitely gonna tank, no matter how good their team is.
Yeah.
I mean, all right, let me look at it here.
Trey Lance showed it in preseason. He sucks.
And yeah, here's the thing: if Dak doesn't sign that extension, the Cowboys are on 4 years of dead money. Supposedly all due up front, mostly $40 million in 2025 in dead money, basically, with him not being on the team. Which is why I'm saying they are going to almost, if they don't extend Dak, they are going to be forced midway through the season to commit to doing a rookie quarterback next year, because with that kind of cap hit, there's no way they can get a veteran quarterback. So they're going to probably have Trey compete against a rookie.
Wait, why does Dak have so much dead money though if he's just going to be a free agent?
They took him for the house and the dead money on the here. Hold on, let me pull it up here. So he agreed to a 4-year, $160 million.
But I have this question: what do you think a guy like Micah Parsons is worth in a trade?
I mean, I feel like at least 2nd-round pick minimum.
Because if you look at it, Matthew Judon, what they got in that trade, Judon's a really good linebacker, and he plays the same position as Micah. He's just older than Micah.
Mm-hmm.
Part of the problem is, too, in 2022, the Cowboys converted $18.4 million of his salary to bonus, basically pushing his money down the line. So they did it to themselves.
Okay, because they restructured.
I'm going to be honest.
Trey Lance is a free agent after this year, too, by the way. But they can't tag him.
To be honest, I would offer a 1st-round pick. Not depending on what year.
In Philly, he would work out, too.
Pick. And I think he would want to be here. You know, he went to Penn State. He's a
They're
Philly
not going
fan.
to trade him.
Have you heard him on the podcast, though? He's crazy. I wouldn't want him in my locker room.
They're not going to trade him in division.
Interdivisionally, yeah.
Yeah, they're not doing that. Come on.
But all right, guys. I can smell the brisket cooking in the kitchen right now. It's about 12:15 over here. I'm enjoying this show. Y'all are bringing some great points, but I probably do got to get off here for the night.
Jerry Jones is also really stupid.
He is. He's the new Al Davis. He's going senile. I feel bad for Cowboy fans.
He almost might be by Bill Belichick.
Jones isn't any better.
He might.
Stephen Jones isn't any better. So,
he's not. We got to believe in Baltimore. We pay people to do that job for a reason. Let them do their job.
I feel like after this year, Mike McCarthy will be gone, and the future head coach of the Dallas Cowboys will be Coach Prime Sanders.
It might be. I have a weird feeling, and Raven fans don't hate me for this. I feel like the way Marlon was talking at camp, if we win the Super Bowl, Marlon's going to retire, and Nate Wiggins will take over that defense. As much as that breaks my heart,
I don't think that would be bad for you guys, because I understand.
We're ready for it, but I love Marlon, dude.
I understand. And by the way, Nate Wiggins is available in fantasy.
I thought about it.
I also thought about it. I didn't really think about Quinion, but I did think about Cooper.
Marlon's just going to play really fucking well, and Brandon Stevens has shown that he's the number 2 corner on this team, and he's in line for a contract extension as well. So then after that, man, like I said, this is the most loaded the Ravens secondary has been in years. But all right, guys, I'm going to hop out of here. Real quick, though, thanks again for both y'all coming, not only for the draft, but coming hanging out afterwards. This will be an every day or every week Thursday show at 6 p.m. Eastern time. So if y'all, and again, I'll have that open and available to people that want to come in. So if y'all want to drop in, Thursdays for the fantasy football show, you're more than welcome to.
What time will it be at?
Good.
And by the way, under the helmet, I think Geno Stone and PQ signing with divisional rivals was somewhat of a statement to John Harbaugh and the culture. But I still support, everything for the Ravens and everything we do. But all right, guys.
Where did Geno Stone sign with the?
He signed with the Bengals for less money than I thought he was going to sign for.
All right,
which was hurtful.
You get out of here. So
yeah, good. All right, guys. It's been fun. Thanks for hanging out. Again, come back every Thursday. Friday we've got this Saturday is actually going to be Saturday, not Friday, for Jackbox Gaming, because we will be covering that Green Bay Philadelphia game down in Brazil. As always, thanks again, guys, and Darwin out.